New York Giant fans. We're like 11 days away from the draft, Baddog.
Closing in. Man. I'll
it.
tell you, I just said to Chris off camera, I wish my vacation just ended, which absolutely sucks. I got to go back to work tomorrow after 2 weeks. First week, I did so much stuff in the first week, and it took a long time to pass. This last week, oh my God, it just flew by. I don't even know what the hell happened, man. Just crazy, but I wish I was on vacation until then because I know I'd be here fast. But these days will fly by.
That's usually what happens when you're on vacation. It usually flies by. You know, you're like, I got all the time in the world, and then you blink your eye and it's over.
Yeah, and I don't normally get 2 weeks. It's rare. I do that in the winter, around Christmas sometimes. But to have 2 weeks off in a row, it's I had a couple extra weeks this year because of the whole COVID situation last year.
Yeah.
And I just had the most awesome week just hanging out with my son this week. It was just so much fun, man. You sit there, you watch your kid, you're playing on the ABC mouse, watching them kind of learn how to read and count and all that. It's awesome, man. I had so much fun with him this week. I don't want to go back to work. I'm like, can I just retire? That'd be nice. G Nation, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Really stand up, guys. Super excited for the draft. More so this season. Let's go Giants. Yeah, I need the Giants with the way the Yankees are playing. And I need Jesus and a lot of alcohol.
It's funny that he says that, though, because I kind of have the same feeling. Like in years past, and don't get me wrong, I'm super excited for the draft. I can't wait for the draft to get here.
Yeah.
But in years past, I think it was because I knew going into the following season, I wasn't going to have high expectations for the Giants. I was even more excited for the draft because it was more about building for the future. But because I feel like we're going to be a good team this year, it's almost like, let's get done with the draft. I want to get to the freaking season. I'm done with the offseason. I want to fast forward to September, and I want to see what we got with this football team. But, of course, I'm super excited to see what we do in the draft. There's a lot of question marks going in, but I'm with them, man. I want to lace them up. Week 1, let's go.
It's funny because I've mentioned that myself, that a lot of times I'm always excited for the Giants, and a lot of times I'm thinking more with my heart than my head, and I'm just excited for football, but not thinking we're going to be very good. And I'm always like, I'm just going to enjoy the summer. You can watch Yankee baseball and football be here for you. Well, the Yankees suck. And the Yankees are.
I know. I saw a clip of your rant.
They're bad, Chris.
They're not good. But
what
I'll say is, you're only 15 games in.
I don't want to hear that. We're 3 years into this crap.
Yeah, but you guys went to the playoffs the last 2 years.
They stink.
It's not good.
I can't have a summer full of that. So get this summer over with. I never root for that. Let's get some Let's get some football. Oh, God, they're awful. Untitled the Sauce God, thank you so much. Really, what's the haps, fellas? Go Giants. I'm pumping. I am definitely pumping the draft. I am so excited about the draft. That is going to be awesome. You guys and girls in the chat, number one, we always appreciate your support, but you ain't going to want to miss that, man. Chris and I will have the coverage for you all 3 days.
A lot of beers.
Yeah, be on my channel on Thursday night. It'll be on his channel Friday and Saturday. And not only is it fun for the Giants to see what we're picking, it's always fun to kind of poke fun at our division rivals, especially the Eagles, when they continuously mess up the draft like we used to, and knowing that they're in the crap that they're in. That always makes me happy. I know John Letourneau will be buying. He's like, Baddog, stop messing with my Eagles, but I can't help it.
What's going to be the surprise pick this year by the Eagles? What do you think they do? What round? What round are we going to be shocked?
First. It's always the first. It's always somebody in the.
It was the second.
Yeah.
The first. Jalen Reagor was a surprise too, but the big surprise was in the second with Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, right?
Yeah,
but we had Daniel Jones one year. I think you had Clelin Ferrell. There's a couple there.
Oh, I was talking just Eagles specific because they're going to screw.
Eagles!
They're going to screw something up.
Oh yeah. Oh well, geez. Let's see. Did you hear the rumors about number one? My man Exhorter. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you, my man. Really, bro. He says we never retire from hard work. It keeps us alive. That is a fact.
Yep.
He ain't lying there. It doesn't matter. Even if I was not working a full-time job, he's right. Even when I am retired, I'll probably still be busting my ass because I just don't know any different. I don't. Yeah. He's absolutely right.
You're a New Yorker. That's what New Yorkers are.
That's what we do. So he's right about that. Michael, thanks so much, brother. Really, 1 p.m. Yanks get an unshaven Baddog. Live stream at 10. Giants get a clean-shaven Baddog. That's because the Giants deserve me. Nice and groomed, and the Yankees played like my face earlier, so just forget about it. But Chris, so seriously, the rumor about the Eagles.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. I don't know if we mentioned this last week. I don't think we did.
Yeah.
Let's go through the chain of events with Philadelphia.
This is fun.
They tank, lose the game on purpose to Washington to move up to 6.
Mm-hmm.
You're figuring they're doing it for a quarterback.
Right.
So they try. We love Jalen Hurts. So they love Hurts. They try to trade up the second to get Zach Wilson. That don't work. So they got
the first mistake before you go on is letting that information leak and admitting to it.
Right.
Because that screws with your quarterback's head. Like if you're going to trade up. But if it doesn't work out, don't let people know that that's what you were thinking.
Right. Also, benching him for Nate Sudfeld didn't do him any favors either.
Yeah.
So you got that whole thing. So they decide, well, the hell with it. We're going to just trade back to 12.
Right.
We don't want Jamar Chase. We're going to trade back to 12. We don't want Kyle Pitts. Going to trade back to 12. We're going to get some draft capital. Now there's talk about them trading back into the top 10. What in the hell are they doing? Why would you trade from 6 to 12 to get back into the top 10? You're going to have to go.
What I'm hoping happens, Baddog, and I don't remember what they got. I think they got a future first. I don't remember what they got.
They got a future first from Miami.
Yeah. So what I'm hoping happens, whatever they gave up to move down to 6, I hope they trade up to 7, and they give up more than what they got to move down to 12, and they pick a spot later. But as far as the Eagles trading up, like, I don't understand. Like, and it might just be a rumor. It might be smoke. It might be head games. But if there's validity to that, why did you trade down in the first place?
That's what I mean. What is that?
Because you're not going to get – because I'm imagining if the rumors are true, it's for Jalen Waddle. If you would have just stayed at 6, you could have taken Jalen Waddle.
Right.
Now, if you trade up to 8, you run – or whatever, they may trade up to, you run the risk of not being able to get the wide receiver you're choosing.
Exactly.
So I don't understand it.
That's what I mean. I don't – they stink. Dana the Sauce guy, thank you so much, brother. Really, he says, Baddog, I want Washington week 1. Show them who runs the division. We know who runs between the Giants and Washington.
I want the Eagles week 1.
I think we all want the Eagles week 1.
Yeah.
And if we don't get the Eagles week 1, I think that's the game that we have to go to.
Yeah. Oh, no, we're going as long as it's not like late December, January during the holidays and it's cold.
Right.
September, October area. That's the game.
Oh, we did go late November last year.
Late November, we'll do
or early middle November. No, middle November.
If it's middle November earlier, that's the game we're going to. Giants, Eagles.
December. Whew. I know you guys.
You want to be able to enjoy a tailgate too. So,
you do. You need a lot of layers if you're going to tailgate in the Meadowlands or down in that area in East Rutherford, New Jersey, in the middle of December.
Yeah,
trust me. We know. Adrian, thank you so much, brother. Brilly. He says not crazy about Olajari at 11, but looks to fit the scheme. Rather have offensive line. Yeah, I was talking to Big Blue Online Sports about this Friday, and asking him about his thoughts on the defensive lineman and if they'd be a reach, because I know a lot of Giants fans do think we'd be reaching at 11 for a defensive end, and I agree. And I asked him what about if we trade back to 15 Patriots. He still said it would be a reach. So I'm not big on these defensive ends as early as we're picking. If we traded back into the 20s and got more draft capital and you want to take a shot at a Greg Rousseau, I'm fine with that. But I wouldn't want these guys at 11. I'm not a fan of any of them at 11.
Wouldn't be my ideal choice. I'm not going to flip out if they do it, because the one thing I will say, we did a lot of things at free agency to set us up to be able to take who we feel is, I guess fills our biggest need, because at this point, I think that's what the New York Giants would identify the edge rusher as the biggest need on this team, being that we spent as much as we did at the wide receiver spot. I would definitely contend that it could still be the offensive line, being that we want to give Daniel Jones everything that we can going into the year. But and I like Olajari. The more research I do on him, I do think he fits the scheme very well. I've talked about all the ties that he has to his team. Kevin Sherr, the linebacker coach for the Giants, was the head recruiter for him in Georgia. Same weight, same height of Floyd, the edge rusher we were trying to get. They both went to Georgia. I think he'd be a very good scheme fit. But I do think at 11 it's a reach. But at the end of the day, it's not our decision. And we know as good as anybody, Dave Gettleman and the New York Giants, they don't care if they reach. Daniel Jones, most people thought was a reach. Dexter Lawrence, most people thought was a reach. Same with Barkley. Many people thought it was too early to take a running back, regardless of how talented he was. And you could probably say the same thing for Andrew Thomas last year. Many people probably thought that was a reach. So if the past means anything, Dave Gettleman doesn't care what the mock drafts say. He doesn't care.
It seems like we take a guy from Georgia in the first round every year. So why not?
Yeah. And I trust me, I prefer to trade down. And I don't know. It could be smoke. Could be smoke. But I definitely think it's more possible than I thought 2-3 weeks ago that the Giants could be looking at an edge rusher at number 11.
We'll see. Johnny Latourneau, there he is. I knew our guy was in. Love you, buddy. Really, thank you so much, man. He says, Baddog, you know it. My Eagles are not a concern of yours. You're right, because you're going to finish in the base. And he says, and the entertainer, the Giants stink. Keep talking. There will be another miracle at the Meadowlands.
Baddog, ask John. We made a bet. Mets Phillies. How's that looking? Tell him to get ready to wear that Mets jersey at the end of the year when we finish with a better record.
John, you might have to finish with the Mets. Well, I'm glad I didn't bet either one of you on the Yankees. I can tell you that. Antonio, thank you so much, brother. Brillies has just joined. Did you guys hear what happened with EDP? So I'll address this real quick because I knew I was getting this. Because a lot of you have been with me before I started streaming and kind of retooled my channel. You know where I came from the TTC. I definitely have talked to EDP. Most people know I was cool with EDP, but a lot of people know me from tearing him a new one. I had to do that. That had to be done. In a trash talking battle. That's where a lot of people know that I had my interaction with EDP. Listen, I heard about what happened with EDP. Okay. What can you say? Stupid thing to do. I mean, if those you don't know, he got caught. He was trying to meet up with an underage female, and he got caught. It was a sting. He went to meet her, and he got in trouble, and he could be looking at jail time. I don't know. I mean, I don't know I didn't got into it. I mean, obviously I heard it because everybody asks me what happened with EDP. Because obviously, like I said, when I started streaming, I had like 9, 10, 15 people. EDP was in there and we chatted and all this other stuff, but there's no excuse for what he did. And there's no way you can defend it. It's a terrible thing. And then, he's probably going to get in trouble, but he brought it on himself.
Yeah. There were allegations with him now for a couple of months, and people laughed it off and they said it was fake and his personality. And supposedly I watched the video. I don't think the official video came out yet. I think like some channels releasing like the official video or whatever, but they showed clips. Doesn't look good. So
no, he's in trouble.
I wouldn't suggest, I wouldn't get too attached to EDP on YouTube for much longer. I'll say that.
Yeah. So I don't know but that's my thoughts on it, man. And like I said, I know a lot of people have asked me because obviously I have interacted with EDP. I mean, I've been on YouTube for a few years, and EDP was he's an Eagles guy. He's known for flooding toilets and being 400 plus pounds. He has been on Tosh.0 a number of times. He's been on ESPN. He's had a lot of his videos go viral. He had over 2.2 million subscribers. Very, very well-known guy on YouTube, especially in the sports community because of his Eagles content. That's how I found him.
Fittingly, he's an Eagles fan.
Fittingly.
You wouldn't catch a Giants fan doing that. Well, you probably would, but
there's idiots in all fan bases. Let's be honest. But
I had to rub it in a little bit to the Eagles fan.
No, I understand, but dumb move. I don't know what else to say. No defending it. It's stupid, and whatever happens, I mean, he brought it on himself. So Punkham says 500 plus. He's a big boy. We'll just put it that way. He's 5'8". He's taller laying down than he is standing up. He's a rare breed, but he's a big boy, and he was known for his rants and his crazy antics, and his crazy antics got him in trouble, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know what to say. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wilkie, thank you so much. Really, he says we need that 11 for a quarterback. I forgot who Wilkie's a fan of.
We need that 11 for a quarterback. I mean, I would imagine it's got to be the Bears or the Patriots.
Oh, he might be a Bears fan.
Yeah.
Good call. I forget. I know him from Uncle Lou's channel. And my Giants 26, thanks so much, brother. Really, he says those damn Eagles fans, they swing the wrong way. Well, I mean, he wasn't going after the same say. He's just underage and stupid.
He was swinging the small way.
He was swinging T-ball.
Yeah.
He was playing T-ball. Johnny Latourneau, thank you so much. Brilly says, Chris, don't worry. That Harper jersey will be ready for you. It's still early, but the good thing is I hope it's us and the Mets to take the division, screw the Braves. Well, I'll tell you what, Johnny, the Braves coming up here in the next couple of games, they're going to get healthy because they're playing my Yankees. So expect a couple of wins from the Bravos to get back into your division.
Yeah.
Andrew, thank you so much, brother. Brilly says, Chris, love the mug.
Darth Vader, Star Wars.
didn't even know that. So what? So how come you're not a Yankee fan?
Oh, the evil empire.
You got it there.
Yeah, no, I always say it all the time. I made a mistake when I was a child, so hopefully the Mets start to pay me back. So far, so good this year.
Maybe not this year. Yeti Man says, Baddog, I love how human you are. Well, I try. I try to be as honest and as upfront. As I always say, man, you guys see me here on YouTube. I'm the same way in person, man. You can ask Chris. You can ask the guys that met me. I don't change. That's how I am. Ask my wife for 20 years. She'll tell you. Like, a guy come into this stream the other night, said, "Boy, you're bad. I'm coming in. You're loud and annoying." I'm like, "Well, geez, my wife been telling me that for 20 years. They tell me something I don't know, buddy." How's Bad Dog, a Knicks fan, stream the Lakers? How many times I got to answer that? It's called family. There you go. Simple answer. Family, son.
There you go. Family.
So anyway.
O-line, linebacker, wide receiver, GY, in that order. GY. I agree with you. And that's kind of what I've said the entire time in terms of need. I'm in complete agreement with you. I know everybody wants to go wide receiver, and if Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle's there, it's kind of like last year for me with Simmons. I will understand. It wouldn't be what I would do. It's not what I think the Giants should do. But I will completely understand. The Giants are going to feel like they're an elite talent. I get it. But I'm with you. I think the line, I think the edge is more important at this point in time for the New York Giants. I think a receiving core is good. I think we need to buff up those other areas more. I'm with you on that.
Like I said, I get a lot of people ask me, Bad Dog, what's a pick that's going to make you have a Daniel Jones reaction? And I always have to tell them, you're probably not going to get that from me again. That was a perfect storm. The Giants have so many needs. There may be players I take that I'm like, man, what the hell was that? Or man, I don't like that pick. But you're not going to get me like seething where the veins are going to pop out of my neck. Like that's probably not going to happen again. The Giants have a lot of needs. I mean, even if they went Pat Surtain, I mean, I wouldn't like it. Or if they went J.C. Horn, I wouldn't like it. If they went Greg Rousseau, like those are not guys I prefer at 11. But I'm not going to scream my head off because you know what? I'm fine with extra cornerback depth. I'm fine with an edge rusher.
Yeah, I mean, I think most fans are not going to be thrilled if we take Pat Surtain completely reasonable because he's not going to be a day one contributor unless you're playing him in the slot, which is not going to be the position that he's meant to play in. But you also got to look at it like it's a 5-year pick. It's not just for this year. But me personally, I wouldn't want to. I would not want to take Surtain. But I'm not going to flip out if they do it. I'm going to trust the coaching staff. I'm going to trust Gettleman to make the right decision. I think last year they did a good job, and I think they could go a lot of ways. This isn't like past drafts where last year we picked it fourth. We knew it was either O-line or Simmons.
Yep.
This year they could go so many different ways. So whatever they decide to do, I'm just going to hope that they make the right decision. They get paid to do this. I'm going to trust their judgment and hope that they're right.
Yeah.
They may do something off the wall, though. I can't guarantee it, but we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully our buddy who just super chatted, hopefully his team does something off the wall. My man, Philly 500. Thank you, brother. Philly. He says, what up, my boys? I'm driving and listening to the Giants fans. Big move today. I guess he's moving. He told me he was moving.
He told me that too.
Yeah.
In California, though, right? Just
yeah. Not too far. From what I understand, he's trying to move closer to the moon. From what I get.
Philly 500, he belongs on the moon.
I love Philly 500. Philly 500 is going to look really nice in Giants gear when he streams that second Giants Philly game. For those of you who don't know, Johnny Laterno, who came in here and told me the Yankees stink, and he's got the bet with Chris about the Mets and Phillies in the jersey. Johnny Laterno sent me an Eric Allen Philadelphia Eagles jersey. Eric Allen was my favorite Philadelphia Eagles. He sent me the jersey. So I bet Philly 500. I said, listen, if the Giants beat the Eagles the first game we play, second game, you got to stream your Giants-Eagles game in Giants gear. If the Eagles win, I got to stream with Chris that Giants-Eagles game in my Eric Allen
That's not happening.
jersey. So, yeah, that's not happening.
It's not happening.
Now, if we go to the Giants-Eagles game, I'm not wearing that. So I'm telling you right now, because I wouldn't be streaming the game. I'd have to wear it at another time.
Yeah.
I ain't wearing that.
I'm not worried about it. We're not going to lose to him.
No, we're not losing that. Bill, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, brother. I really appreciate that, my man. Brilly, brother. Where are we? Your Secret Service agent James Carter. Brilly, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. He says, I'm a Parsons guy at 11, but the Giants go edge. Do y'all see it being outside linebacker or defensive end? Because Pay looks like a beast at defensive end to pair with Leo and Dex at nose tackle. Kwity Paye's been a name that they have mentioned since the beginning. Yeah. Is it Pay or Pie?
I think it's Pay. I think it's Pay.
So, it's been him, Rousseau, and then, of course, Aziz came up out of nowhere kind of here recently. But it was definitely between Pay and Rousseau. But again, like Chris said, we have so many needs. And that's why it's going to be fun because we really don't know. I mean, like Chris said, last year it's pretty much Isaiah Simmons or Andrew Thomas, maybe Tristan Ward, but it was a lineman.
It was a tackler, Simmons. So
we really didn't have a lot of options. This year there's so many positions, and the Giants, maybe they do find a trade partner to go back this year.
As far as Pay goes, I mean, I don't really view him as a 3-4 defensive end. He's only 261 pounds. Traditionally, you'd want your 3-4 defensive end probably to be more closer to 280. You look at the guys on our defensive line. He's more of a 4-3 end to me. He's not a stand-up OLB, though. But the Giants do run a multi-dimensional defense. They run 3-4 and 4-3. That's why I say Olajar is the better fit. I don't know, maybe they'll evaluate it and think Kwity Paye is the much better player. I think Olajar is the much better fit for what we do as a defense. Pay to me, I think is a much better fit for a 4-3 defense. Like a strict 4-3 defense, you're going to stick him on the end, kind of like we did with Justin Tuck, a player like that. Yeah. I think he's not really a 3-4 end, and he's definitely not a stand-up outside linebacker. He's been a hand in the dirt lineman his whole career. So I think Olajar is the better fit, but Kwity Paye may be the better player.
Ronnie Perkins is from, of course, he's from Oklahoma. That's a good outside linebacker the Giants may be able to get in the later rounds. I definitely want some Sooners this year. Yeah. Do I not want a Sooner every year? You can give me Creed, Ronnie Perkins, and I know Trey Sermon transferred to Ohio State, but he's a Sooner. You can give me those three guys in rounds 2, 3, and 4, and I'd be very happy. I'm dead ass serious. You give me Ronnie Perkins, Creed Humphrey, and Trey Sermon in rounds 2, 3, and 4. I'm fine with that. I think wide receiver in round 1, and I'm fine with that too.
I think Humphrey, a couple of months ago, Humphrey was being mocked sometimes in the 3rd round. I got him going in the 1st to the Steelers. Steelers need a center. I hope he's there in the 2nd round. I would love Creed Humphrey. It would give us the ability to either play him at the guard or move Gates. I'm starting.
Gates. Creed is a center. You move Gates back to his natural position. But also remember last year, I think that the Cowboys traded up to get Biadasz out of our hands.
No, they definitely did.
And so that's that. We definitely need a center. And listen, if they took Creed at 42. I ain't complaining because I'm telling you, Creed is good. Yeah. Creed can play. Boy, nasty. He can play. He can play.
Well, I'm starting to think more and more that we're going offensive line in the 2nd.
I hope so. I mean, I don't care. Listen, like I said, the Giants are going to they'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I have no problem. I hear a lot of Jalen Waddle. It changes every day, man. Like I say it all the time. It's like the New York weather. You don't like it, wait 10 minutes, it'll change. That's a Giants mock draft. You don't like who they mocked at 11. Wait 20 minutes, you'll get a different mock, and it'll be a different player.
Yeah.
Seriously. Troy, thanks so much, brother. I really appreciate it. Really, my man says, how do y'all feel about Tay Crowder? He's good, but I don't think he should start. Got to draft an inside linebacker in the first 3 rounds. Yeah, he's not going to start. He's Mr. Relevant. Definitely a good situational player, though. Good for depth. Had a nice impact for the Giants.
Yeah, he started a little bit last year, but I agree that he's not the ideal long-term starter. Some linebackers that I like Dylan Moses. He's more of a 3rd-round target. I could see us maybe going after him. Everybody likes Jabril Cox. He's more of a coverage linebacker.
You hear him a lot now.
Yeah, he's a 2nd-round target. So there's definitely some guys. I do like Dylan Moses. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have him in my mock that I'm going to have up tomorrow in my Gettleman project. He's more of a 3rd-round target for us. But, yeah, I kind of agree with him. I take credit to me. He's a nice piece. But do I want to bank on him being the starter next year? Probably not. We did pick up Reggie Ragland though, who's a linebacker also. So we got some depth there, and he's a different type of linebacker than Crowder is.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of depth at linebacker, especially if Zemenes and Carter can come back healthy. Then you really got almost too much depth. You're gonna have to get rid of one of these guys.
Yeah.
Cruzon, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it, my man. Really, Bryce says JOK will be everything Giants fans thought Simmons would be. I like Parsons and JOK a lot. I'm fine with either one of those guys too, man. I'm a defensive guy by heart, by nature. I love Mike Parsons. I don't know if the Giants want to take that chance. I hear mock drafts drafting him. I does the last Giants video I did because it really hasn't been much to talk about, saying that most mock drafts have him being there. And then the next day they're like, well, the red flag's probably going to keep Parsons away from the Giants. So like I said, it just depends on what you read and what day you read it. But I'd be fine with either one of them, Cruzan.
Yeah, Cruzan. I think Parsons more than likely, because I'm assuming Slater's going to be off the board. And even if Slater's there, you could probably argue that Parsons is the better player. I think Parsons, in terms of just talent, is going to be the best player on the board when we're picking if he's there. I just worry about the character concerns. But if the Giants do draft him, I'm going to assume that the Giants did their due diligence. So yeah, I'd love Parsons. When I did the film breakdown on Parsons 2 months ago, I thought he was a perfect fit for this defense. I think he's going to be the best player on the board if he's there when we're picking. But the character concerns, I personally think, may scare the Giants away.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, Deandre Baker, I guess there were some red flags that we didn't know about. And he was a disaster here. Do you think that – but Pat Shurmur was our coach. Pat Shurmur is like Aaron Boone. He just lets well, you suck, whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna coddle you. I'm gonna massage your balls. I'm not gonna rip you a new one. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna be hard on you. I'm just gonna say, oh, it's okay. Pet you like a dog. It's okay. You peed on the rug. Oh, it's okay. Nah, sometimes you gotta swat the dog in the ass with a roll of newspaper and say, don't do it again. Do you think that Aaron Judge, let's get the Yankees on the mind, Joe Judge, you think he could be a guy that would straighten not that Parsons is bad now. This stuff happened in high school and a hazing incident in college, which a lot of people do that in college. I mean, it's not like he got arrested or anything, right? Yeah. So do you think Joe Judge would make a difference? You think the Giants would say, we'll take a shot because I think the coaching staff can put him on a level path? And how bad was Lawrence Taylor off the field? Lawrence Taylor is the greatest player ever. Not the best. Yeah. Not a saint. Not a saint. Could have been a saint. That was a pun right there, Chris, because they took George Rodgers first in 81. Thank you, New Orleans. I can never thank New Orleans enough for that. So literally and figuratively, LT was not a saint.
What I'll say is I think if Joe Judge was the coach, Deandre Baker may never get in trouble. And he may never been doing what he was doing in 2019 with Pat Shurmur as head coach. I'll say that. We'll see. I think Joe Judge was completely responsible for the cutting of Deandre Baker. I don't think Gettleman had much to do with that at all because it made him look bad because he traded up for him the year before.
Right.
I don't think Judge wanted him a part of this program. That makes me think Judge is a no-nonsense guy. But we'll see. Obviously, we got ties to him with Coach Chaos at Penn State. Maybe he convinces him. Barkley probably knows him on a personal basis. So we'll see. If he's even there, we'll see.
Shabby, thank you so much, brother. Really, my man. This is Baddog, Adam Frazier, and Brian Reynolds from the Pirates for Clint Frazier and Clark Schmidt, two guys that can put the bat on the ball. Also, Slater, then Elijah Moore. Sean, the first part of it, let's do it right now. Let's sign the paper. I will definitely take Adam Frazier and Brian Reynolds for Clint Frazier and Clark Schmidt. I will do it right now. I'll do it right now. Give me two guys that put the bat on the ball. We got one guy on the team that does that. It's DJ LeMahieu. So we'll double our production of guys that put the bat on the ball. Chris, the Yankees have 5 guys hitting under 200 in their starting lineup. Can't make it up. They suck. Boy, I ran for the ages today. That was a good one. That was Johnny Letourneau, thank you so much, man. Brilly says, oh no, if we have to play Philly in first and you lose, you'll be wearing that jersey and it'll be awesome during the Hangout Live. Oh, please. Oh, no, I'm not wearing that to Giants Stadium. I ain't stupid.
Yeah.
It'd be like me going to Lincoln Financial Field with a Daniel Jones jersey.
Yeah.
Okay. I was born, I wasn't even born at night. I was born in the day, but I wasn't born yesterday. Okay. So, no, not wearing Eric Allen.
I won't allow him to wear it. I'll tell you what, if he wears the Eric Allen jersey, I'm going to go to the nearest toilet bowl. I'm going to rip the jersey off of him, and I'm going to use it to wipe my ass.
I love you, Johnny. That's not happening. So,
yeah.
We'll see. I would just stream it. I would wear it during another stream. That's all. Irish Rover, thanks so much, brother. Brilly says, do you think Joe Judge is still in rebuilding mode? If so, we may see an edge or linebacker at 11 and an offensive line in the second round. I think he meant 10 and 7 is realistic.
Yeah, 10 and 7, obviously. It's hard to say if. Yes, I still think we're approaching the end of the rebuild mode. I don't think we're finished yet. But I think this is the year where you're going to see this team start to take a big step up. I don't think we're a Super Bowl team yet. I think we're a year away from being that type of team, a true Super Bowl contender. So I still think, yes, we have one more year of this team continuing to build the offensive line, the defense, the coaching staff, Daniel Jones, everything else. And then I think the following year is when we're going to really, really be competing. But I do expect playoffs this year.
By the way, real quick, we have almost 600 people in here. So again, thank you guys and girls so much for being. I really do appreciate it. You know what to do if you haven't done so already, man. Smack the like button. It always helps out the streams. Hit the like, hit that subscribe, make sure to ring the bell. We do this show every week. We alternate channels. So the most important thing you need to do is go into the description. Link to the Entertainer Talking Sports is in there. Subscribe to him if you are not. We'll be covering the draft all 3 days.
Mock draft, by the way.
Yes, I was going to say next week on Chris's channel, Friday night, we've already seen the Knicks and Lakers both do not play. So Friday night, we're going to do that show on Chris's channel. We're going to do the mock draft with you guys. So we're going to do a mock draft. And then Thursday on my first night of the draft, my channel, next night and day on his channel. We'll be there all 3 days, covering all 20 hours or whatever it is with you guys and girls. So thank you for being here. Really do appreciate it. Again, like, subscribe. Make sure you go into that description and click on the Entertainer Talking Sports, sub them up, and I'm sure one of my mods will drop the link in the chat. One of my favorites. This guy is related to Lard Dog Sports, and this is the Entertainer Talking McDonald's. Really. He says petition to lay down Giants fans for future TDs.
I'll start talking McDonald's. I'll have a number 2 cheeseburgers and a medium fry and a Coke Zero because it negates the 3,000 calories that are about to go into my body.
That's exactly what they do. Can I get a Big Mac, an extra large fry, and a Diet Coke? Cruise on. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. Really, would you guys be okay with Tevin Jenkins at number 11?
Tevin Jenkins is a big hog. I saw a couple of videos on Tevin Jenkins. I like Tevin Jenkins. You know me, Cruise on. If the Giants feel like he's the best lineman there, I'm not going to cry about it. He's definitely been moving up mock drafts. I mean, it depends. Is Slater there? But if they prefer him to Elijah Vera Tucker and that's the route they go, I'm not going to cry about it. If they go with a lineman and that's their preference, but we'll see. I'm not going to cry about it. No, I would not cry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and listen, like I said, I'm not going to complain about anything they do.
I'm not saying that's what I want, but I wouldn't cry about it.
Right. That's what I mean. There might be some players that cruise on that they would take that, like, I prefer other players over. But again, it's hard to argue with any of it because they have so many needs and they could definitely use depth at all these positions. So yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with it. I mean, I like I said, I'd prefer other players. And like Chris said, it depends on who's on the board. But you're going to be hard pressed to find a draft pick that they take that I'm be like, damn it. Like it's not going to happen, Yeah. Chaos. Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate it. Really. He says, what up, my guy, Baddog? And how you doing, Chris? Just wondering if you have any thoughts on EDP. I actually mentioned that before you came in.
Already talked about it.
About EDP.
But I mean, what do you think we think? The guy's a pedophile.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I have no words for EDP. He did it to himself. That's really all I could think. I mean, he's EDP, man. I don't know. His craziness finally got to him, I guess. I don't know. Can't defend the guy for what he did. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing, and he's gonna get in trouble for it. I don't know. Pistol Pete, thanks so much, brother. Brilly says, what's good, Brilly? Go Big Blue. 6-1 in the first 7. I like it.
Well, the schedule hasn't even come out yet in terms of the order.
Hell with it. Pistol Pete, I like what he said. That'd be a nice reverse from what we normally are after the first 7.
I would love it, but let's see the schedule first.
Pistol Pete's right. 6-1. You know what it is?
He's right.
We're going to have the Eagles twice. The Eagles twice, the Washington team twice, Dallas twice. 6 wins right there.
Okay. Fair enough. You convinced me.
500. If you're still listening, I gotta figure out a time to do a damn. I wanted to do an NFC East roundtable. I never got around to doing it. I just never did. We could do a therapy session for. You know what, Philly? If you're here, I'm gonna throw out an olive branch for you right now. After the draft, I'll have you on the channel. I'll talk you through it. I'll have a therapy session for you because I know you're not gonna be happy. Yeah. Oh, I think his Philly 500's reaction to the Cowboys saying CeeDee Lamb was pretty good. That was a good one. You don't ever hear Philly swear? That was a good one. I like that. Yeah. Dylan, thanks so much, brother. Brilly says, I have a feeling the Giants go wide receiver at 11. That's a big consensus, too. Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. If either one of them are there, A lot of talk. Wouldn't be upset with that either.
Could be a smokescreen. I predicted Devontae Smith 2 months ago. So I kind of want to stick with it because it was my original pick. And maybe these are smokescreens about the edge rushers. I would not be shocked at all if they go with a wide receiver, because you could easily argue that would be the best available player there. But I honestly don't know. Like, my head's spinning, and I'm kind of to the point now, Baddog, where I'm like, I'm just sick of the rumors. Like, I'm just like, let's get to the draft. I don't even want to talk about it.
This is the point. It's fun in the beginning, Chris. The speculation is fun, and then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, enough foreplay.
I think it's cool to try to learn about some prospects, later round prospects that maybe, I think the New York Giants could show some interest in. But in terms of the rumors in the first round and everything else, like, what do we got? Lard Dog Sports in the chat. What's going on, Lard Dog?
Really, Benny says, are you kidding me? I'm not related to that double Lard. Oh, man. Boy, look at what I would look like if I was like 350 pounds.
You got a seven chin.
I'll tell you what, I look like
you look like a white EDP.
A little bit. A little bit. It's pretty funny. That's pretty good. I look like one of them really fat plumber guys that would have my ass crack hanging out when I was changing the toilet paper or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lard Dog.
Lard Dog and Entertainer Talk at McDonald's. Two fat guys that love the Giants. Let's go. Eric, thank you so much, brother. Really says, sup, fellas? I know what y'all think of most of these guys at 11, but who do you want the G-men to pick?
You're talking to the wrong. I mean, Eric, if you don't like offensive linemen, you're talking to the wrong guy. Who do I want? I want Rashawn Slater. I don't know if he's going to be there, but that's who I want.
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts all the way.
I'd be happy with Pitts.
I know he ain't going to be there.
Yeah, I think he's going to Atlanta, but unless they trade down. But, yeah, if Slater's there, that's who I want.
I see my man Roldy's in here. He said, I thought you were starting at 10:30. Yeah, sorry, Roldy. I put it in the community notes today, and I know I mentioned it in the Yankees live stream. You were in there, but I was yelling a lot, so I forgot. Philly says, I'm listening. I'm driving a moving truck, but I'm listening. I'm game, he said. He's game.
All right. Therapy session. You got to be sitting down. Sit down on the court.
And Mark Holmes was in the stream earlier. I got to get them together. We have to do it. I have a lot of fun with those round deals. Mac, the Giants fan, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it, brother. Really says, I love the defense so much. I'm good with adding another playmaker at 11 on defense or offense. I mean, either way, I'm good with it too. I mean, I think about how good this defense was last year against a really tough schedule.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking what a Micah Parsons could do to that defense.
Also factor in that the defense had no help from the offense.
Right.
The offense should be better this year.
Right. And I'm just thinking about Micah Parsons could lift it to elite levels.
Yeah.
And I love defense. I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so big defensive guy. No doubt about that. So.
I want the line, but I'd be very happy if we got Parsons as well.
Yeah, Sabrina, Philly plus Baddog plus Mark Holmes. But yeah, I want those two guys and Ed Oliver. That was what I did the last time. When I've done the roundtables, I like to keep the same people together because I feel like it's got good chemistry. So if I have Lord Brunson, I would obviously get Louis T and Law Nation. I love that collab. And then I did the one, with Philly 500, Mark Holmes, and Ed Oliver. And then I did one with Philly 500 Street Scores and Botch Lombardi. So those were all fun. But I definitely, Mark Holmes had to leave early. So I'd like to get Mark for the full 2 hours or whatever it is. Lard Dog, thanks so much, brother. Really. He says, I love you if I use my milkshake money. I can't get over the picture. It's just hilarious.
That's a good looking picture.
That's a sexy man right there.
I think you should stop going to the gym and try to focus on that.
That'd be a lot easier.
that would probably only take you like 3 months. Just go to McDonald's every day.
That'd probably take me longer. I couldn't do that. I'd be so sick to my stomach if I ate like that. Everybody's asking thoughts on EDP. All I'm gonna say, guys, if you're coming in, you're asking about EDP. Rewind the stream maybe half an hour, 25 minutes, because we pretty much talked about it earlier.
I'll sum it up real quick. We don't like pedophiles.
There you go.
There's your answer. There's no reason to ask.
He's in trouble, man.
The guy's a pedophile. I mean, yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Stupid. Stupid. It's just a dumb move. Dumb move. Jeremiah, my man. Thank you so much. My man from Alaska. Really, he says the best thing for the Giants would be 4 or 5 quarterbacks to go before the Giants pick. And Baddog, what do you think? Baddog Chris.
The more quarterbacks, the better. Yep. That's what you're hoping for. You're hoping for 5, because if 5 go, that means only 5 other position players. Obviously, we're not interested in a quarterback. So if 5 go and you're hoping Mac Jones goes 3, I think that makes it more realistic that 5 could go then in the top 10. That means you figure Sewell's gone. And then you figure Pitts is probably gone. You figure
Jamar
Chase. That's 3. And then that leaves Rashawn Slater. That leaves Jalen Waddle. That leaves Micah Parsons. Devontae Smith. 2 of those guys are getting to you.
Any corners.
Pat Surtain. So, yeah, the more quarterbacks to go in the top 10, the better. But the one thing I will say to the contrary to that, if one of the better quarterbacks drops to 11 and the Giants want to trade down, it becomes a possibility. So you can look at it either way.
It was a great point. I was just about to say that if there's a quarterback that is left at 11, that does give the Giants an opportunity to trade back if somebody wants to trade up for a quarterback at number 11. So I think the Giants are in a good spot. I really do. They're not going to trade up, but they definitely have the possibility to get the player that they want at 11. Or I still think if they wanted to go defensive end and they do have a trade partner in the late teens or early 20s, I definitely think they could get Rousseau or Pay or Olajare. I think one of them will fall into the late teens, and then they could do it there. But again, I think the Giants are in a really good spot because I don't think there's a ton. Like when you're picking top 6, there's a lot of pressure to get that pick right. Not that there's not a lot of pressure to get your first round pick right, but at 11, you it's not as like necessary. Like you gotta nail this guy.
Just don't pick Eli Apple. That's who we picked when we were around this spot last time. Yeah,
we haven't done good around. Well, I mean, we took Pew.
Well, Flowers was around this pick too, wasn't he?
9th,
yeah.
9th, yeah. Apple 10th.
Yeah.
Pew 13th.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham was 13th too, or 14th, 13th, 12th. He went 12th.
Yeah.
So we haven't picked 11th in a while. Picked all around.
There was actually an article written today about and it's obviously pure coincidence, but the 11th pick in prior drafts has been very good. Becton last year, there was a number of other really good players that have gone 11th overall in recent drafts.
Let's get one.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Nice.
John, you the man. Thanks so much, brother. Really says Baddog. Let's do an AL East run table. I couldn't find other. I know Red Sox fan. I know no Orioles fans. I know no Jays fans. And I don't know any Rays fans that do channels. I mean, I know them in the streams, but I don't know any guys that do channels. But he says, since you like taking shots at my Eagles, but love you, buddy. Chris, don't worry. Your day of reckoning for the Mets is coming.
We'll see, John. We'll see.
John Kim, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. Really. We let go of Zeitler, our best offensive lineman. We need to address it in the draft. Get Creed. I'm in. And move Gates right guard. I'm in. Because Shane and Will ain't it. I want Slater. He will keep DJ upright, or Parsons, or our version of Devon White. I'm in for any of that, John.
Yeah. So he's open to the possibility of going 2 offensive linemen with the first 2 picks. You play Slater at the guard, you play Humphrey at the center, and you move Gates to the other guard. That's what he's basically suggesting.
I wouldn't be mad at that either.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. You know, I love the Hogs. I wouldn't be upset.
I'm not a big Hog guy, but I love Creed Humphrey.
Yeah,
I'm a big Sooner guy.
Yeah,
Aries, my man. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it. How you been, brother? Aries Falcon. Oh, there's an OG right there. My man, Aries Falcon. I'm gonna get back to that in a second. I see Real New York Giants Mafia said Ron Dane was our last number 11 pick.
Wow. Yeah, I saw an article today. I gotta find it. I think Dan Duggan posted it.
Aries Falcon says we better not. You know, he's a Falcons fan, if you couldn't tell by the logo and by the name. He said we better not draft Pitts. That would not be a good pick for Atlanta.
I think they're going to pick him. If they stay at 4, I think they're going to pick him. That's they're really going to take him or Penny Sewell.
The best Cincinnati. If you're going to take the Cincinnati, would be the best place for him to go, in my opinion.
Pitts?
Yes.
I think Cincinnati needs to focus on the line.
I do too, but You got a young quarterback. You got a good T. Higgins. Pitts would not be a bad idea for Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree. I think because of what happened to Burrow, they should figure out the offensive line. And we all know that young quarterbacks in this league usually go to teams with bad offensive lines. That's why they're picking so early. And you need to protect them. It hadn't worked out for Tua. It didn't work out for Burrow. Hasn't worked out for Jones. Didn't work out for Sam Darnold. It wasn't working out for Baker until they fixed it. So fix that O-line. There's a guy that comes in here. His name is Fix the O-line.
Yeah. He's a great subscriber of mine as well.
You know. Where are we? Grim, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. Brilly. Pay doesn't make sense. Not a stand-up rusher. Phillips Olajari makes sense in a trade down. Rousseau is not a first rounder. I've heard that a lot, that Rousseau is like dropping out of the first round. It's just Phillips is the most talented, but his injuries play a factor, huge upside.
I agree with everything that he just said. Rousseau may be a back-end first rounder, but I agree with everything that he just said. I think Olajari is probably the best schematic fit. I think Phillips is probably the guy with the most upside, but he had 3 concussions in 2018. And Kwity Paye, I agree with him. It doesn't fit our biggest need right now.
No.
Yeah.
I agree. None of those guys at 11 are that's not who I would prefer. I'll put it that way. Who have they played, Woo? But who have they played? Yeah, thank you so much, brother. Really. Giants trade pick the Bears and then pick Rousseau at 20. That I'd be fine with.
Yeah, I'm not in love with Rousseau, but I'd be fine with trading down to 20 to take an edge rusher. So yeah, I'd be good with that if we can. But for everybody that throws out these trade ideas, Giants should trade down. We say it all the time. If the Bears don't want to trade up with us, it ain't gonna happen. So let's, if it happens, great, but don't expect it.
Yeah, but and then again, I guess for the Bears, I think the only way they would trade all the way up to 11 is perhaps if there was a quarterback there.
Somebody's saying I got an echo. They're saying I got an echo.
I don't hear an echo from you.
Yeah, I slightly do now that I'm listening.
I'm not hearing it.
Let me mute this and try it again. Hold on.
That's weird. I'm not hearing
it. Testing. Yeah, I'm still hearing it. I don't know why.
That's weird. I don't hear it on my end.
Let me try switching microphones. Hold on. Audio.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's try this one. Testing. No, I'm still getting. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Because I don't hear it.
Yeah,
I don't hear it.
I do. But if the chat doesn't hear it now, let me know.
Oh, Ethan said no echo.
Oh, okay. I did hear an echo, so that's why I saw it in the chat. And I'm like,
yeah, okay, you're good now.
Okay.
Good now. All right. So yeah, I mean, it's the thing. It's going to be interesting. And again, I don't know what the Bears would trade up to 11 for. I don't think anybody's trading up to 11 for a positional player. I think it's a quarterback. I don't think anybody else is moving up there. I don't know if there's anybody that's worth trading up to 11 that the Giants wouldn't take themselves.
Wait, what'd you say? You don't think there's anybody at 11?
At 11 that's worth trading up to get that the Giants wouldn't take themselves?
Unless it's a quarterback.
Right, outside of the quarterback.
Yeah.
If nobody's trading up for a quarterback, I can't see Jalen Waddle being there and the Giants going, okay, we'll pass on Jalen Waddle and we'll trade down.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if you put a gun in my head, I'd say 95% we're staying where we are. I don't think we're trading down. I'd be shocked if we trade down. Gettleman doesn't have a history of trading down. I think we're staying where we are, and they're going to take their guy, and it might be an edge rusher. And if it's an edge rusher, 95% of Giants Twitter is going to explode on draft night. They're all going to say that Dave Gettleman needs to be fired, and they're going to say that the world's over because they watch mock drafts, and the mock drafts say that we shouldn't take an edge rusher. That's what will probably happen if we go edge rusher, but I don't think the Giants are trading down. I think they're going to take the guy that they want to take at 11.
I agree. I couldn't agree more with that. David, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it, man. Really says, hope all is good. Busy as hell at work. I've been off for 2 weeks, and I know when I go back tomorrow, I'm going to have so much work waiting for me. Whatever. He says, unrelated topic, what's up with the Yankees? Oh, they suck. That's what's up with them, David. If you want to know about what I think of the Yankees, go to the video today, the live stream, and hit the 3-hour mark, like the exact 3-hour mark. I go off today. I went off the last 2 days, but today was a good one. 3 hours into it. 3 hours exactly, right there. They stink, man. They just stink. Don't hit. They stink.
And you hate the manager.
The manager is garbage. Our GM needs to be fired. The hitting coach should be gone. He should be gone right now. They should have fired Marcus Timms already. This team got 3 hits today. 3 hits off of Andrew Kittredge and Ryan Yarbrough. Ryan Yarbrough had a 6.5 ERA this year with opponent's batting average against of 319. He pitched 5 innings and gave up 2 hits against the Yankees. That is pathetic. That's pathetic. Pathetic. This team makes $200-some-odd million as a team.
I will guarantee you, Baddog, and maybe I'll be proven wrong. Yankees will turn that around. They'll win the AL East by the end of the year. They're going to win the division. I guarantee it.
I'm glad you got more faith than me because I watched the team for 3 years. They don't know how to win games. They can't beat good teams. They'll get healthy. They're going to play the Orioles here, and they're going to.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. They are going to, like they do every year. They're going to play the weak part of their schedule, and they're going to sweep the hell out of them because they're a team that beats up on crappy opponents.
They are,
and they're going to, in the end, they will make the playoffs. I guarantee it. But they're off to a bad
they might
start.
make the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to win the division though. But they
maybe.
That's a long season. We'll see. I can't take much more. What the hell I've been seeing this weekend, though. Sway, thank you so much, brother. Really. What up, Baddog and Tainah? Personally, I would love Smith in round 1, but if Slater is there, that's got to be the pick. In round 2, I'm a big Osei guy.
Osai, yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, everybody's in love with Oweh because he had a great pro day. I think he ran a 4.36, gets a lot of pressures at Penn State, had 0 sacks at Penn State last year, but a lot of people,
Leonard Williams.
Yeah, well, a lot of people point to who's the player that they compare him to? The guy in the Vikings, Hunter. He had like 1 sack in his last year in college, and they compare him to him because he had a great pro day and he moved up the draft charts and everything else. So I'd be completely fine with taking Oweh in the second round. He's a guy with a lot of upside and a guy that with the proper coaching, and he's got ties to our D-line coach at Penn State.
Can I ask you something? We have so many damn coaches. It's like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
23.
Like you're going to – right. We have so many coaches. You're going to have there's going to be somebody that knows somebody. It's like the mob.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Grim, thanks so much, man. Really could see someone jumping Philly for a wide receiver or cornerback. That's if Philly don't trade up.
Yeah. I don't know.
But again, we might want the guy.
I could see someone jumping up for a corner. I guess that's possible. Maybe up to 9 to jump the Cowboys. That makes sense because most people think the Cowboys are taking a corner. So I could see that if a team wants a corner. I could see them jumping the Cowboys at going up to 9. That's possible.
Yeah, we'll see. Jack, thanks so much, brother. Really. What are your predictions for offensive and defensive breakout players pre-draft? I think McKinney and Sterling will have great seasons.
My offensive and defensive breakout players, I am going to go. I mean, it's hard. It's very hard for me to say offensive yet because I don't know if we're going to draft a wide receiver because, right now I may think Slayton, but if we draft Devontae Smith, I'm not going to think Slayton anymore.
Right.
But one guy, if he's healthy, I think Saquon Barkley is going to be terrific. If he's healthy. I think Shepard will be good in the slot. But on defense, I think most people are going to say McKinney because he was hurt last year. But if I give you another name other than him,
Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Again, I got to wait till after the draft. I'm gonna go. Again if he's healthy. I'm gonna go with Lorenzo Carter. I think the addition of Adoree Jackson is going to help the edge rush. If not Carter Zimenez, one of those 2 guys coming back, I think has a really good year. I think the addition of Adoree Jackson, the better coverage, is going to allow those guys to get after the quarterback. So I'll go with one of those 2, have a breakout year on defense, like 7 or 8 sacks, which is a breakout year for them.
I didn't do good on this last year. My defensive pick was DeAndre Baker. That did not happen well. Offensively, praying it's Daniel Jones.
Well, of course, we'll hope it's Daniel Jones.
I am praying that it's Daniel Jones. That has the breakout year. We got to have Daniel Jones on the breakout year. I'm going to go with Daniel Jones. Yeah, I'm down on Daniel Jones. I didn't like Daniel Jones. I don't like the way he's played. But I know he can do it, which is why I'm so hard on him. Just like I'm so hard on the Yankees because I know they're better than this. I know Jones is better than what he is. I know he's better than that. Physically, that kid can do it. Just needs some confidence. So if that's an offensive line that gives him confidence, let's do it. If he needs another wide receiver, let's do it. I'm on Daniel Jones of the breakout season. I'm going with Daniel Jones. I really do feel like it's so hard with him, man, because I'm going to be like, I know he can do it, and then he's going to have a bad game. We're like, this guy sucks. I already know how I am with him.
I should have said Jones because I wasn't even thinking quarterback. I was thinking skill positions. But I'm going to sound like a homer this year, and I have not been a Jones advocate since he – not that I've hated Jones, but I've definitely not been his biggest supporter since he's been here. I think he's going to have a good year. I'm going to be high on Jones going into the year this year. Not like, crazy high, but I think he's going to have a good year. So, yes, I wasn't even thinking quarterback. I was thinking more so the skill positions. I think Jones is going to have a good year for the Giants this year. I think he's going to be at least an average starting quarterback in the NFL this year statistically. Like, you look at his – again, I don't want to throw numbers out there because it's circumstantial. It's how you don't know what the game plans are going to be against certain opponents, so on and so forth. But I think he's going to throw at least 26, 27 touchdowns this year. And I think the Giants are going to beat 2 or 3 really good teams. So I think Jones does take a step up this year.
And on defense, man, I'm going to go Jabril Peppers, man. I think Jabril.
He was great last year,
but I'm thinking he could be an all-pro type of safety this year.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that with another year in this system, and the addition of a guy like Reggie Ragland and a healthy Xavier McKinney, and an addition of Adoree Jackson, I think this allows Peppers to just be everywhere. And I can just see Peppers having a year where he has like 5 interceptions and 5 sacks. I kind of, I don't like Landon Collins, but Landon Collins, there's no denying the beginning of 2016, the first 8 games of the season, Landon Collins is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Peppers could be that good the entire season. Landon Collins definitely fell off after the first 8 games.
Yeah.
I think Peppers could have that type of year. I really do. So
I think Peppers last year, second half, played at an all-pro or near all-pro level. He was playing really well. The first half, not so much. But I love Peppers. I think Peppers is going to play really well this year.
So, man, I see people. If Hot Take Hockey's in the stream, big shout out to Hot Take Hockey. 420 Creed North 2. Smoke them because you got them. 420. Me, Hot Take Hockey. Islanders, Rangers, that channel. One of my mods dropped the channel. Hot Take Hockey's, dropped the link to Hot Take Hockey's channel. Trying to get him to 30K, by the way. He's getting close.
Nice.
So subscribe to Hot Take Hockey if you haven't. Best hockey play-by-play guy on YouTube. And I can't wait to stream that game on Tuesday with him. I'm not going to call any play-by-play. I'm just going to be there bringing my energy. It's going to be good. So Come over there and hang out with us for Islanders Rangers. It's going to be a really good game. And he's awesome. So check him out, man. Absolute legend. Sean, thank you so much, brother. Really. So if the Giants pick widely regarded as a great pick, it's because of Judge.
Bullshit.
But if it's a reach, bad. It's Gettleman, right? For the Gettleman haters, absolutely.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely. That's my opinion on it. For everybody that says, and again, Gettleman deserves blame. There's no doubt about it. The guy's made bad picks. But to think that Gettleman doesn't have any say on the personnel decision is stupid. Gettleman did the same thing with James Betcher and with Pat Shurmur. Daniel Jones fit Pat Shurmur's scheme perfectly. Word came out that Pat Shurmur loved Daniel Jones. We brought in every former Cardinal known to man to fit Betcher's defense.
Yep.
He did the same thing with those 2 coaches. So why didn't we just blame Betcher and Shurmur then if you're going to go that route? Dave Gettleman wants to bring in guys that fit his coach's philosophy. So for everybody that blames Gettleman for the personnel decisions when they extend Leonard Williams, you have to give him credit for the other ones. He is working with collaboratively like he did with Shurmur and Betcher with Joe Judge. Period. End of story. It's just like you said, people that hate Dave Gettleman don't want to give him any credit when the team starts to turn around, want to give all the credit to Judge. Nah, can't have it both ways. I think it's the same exact setup they had with Shurmur and Betcher that they now have with Graham and Judge.
You know what? The Gettleman haters remind me of the people that would do that to Eli. When the Giants are good, give all the credit to the defense. Give nothing to Eli. When the Giants failed, blame Eli for everything. It's kind of the same thing. It's just Dave Gettleman will never win some people, and I always go back to him trading Odell Beckham. Some people will never forgive him for trading Odell Beckham. It's just the way it is. Because, again, it's not like Gettleman took over a team that was going to the NFC Championship and winning this division on a regular basis and winning 9 to 10 games every year, and he turned it into what it's become the last 3 years. If that was the case, then you could give him a lot of blame, but this guy had to dig out of a deep hole. And hopefully we're there now. And again, this is a make or break season for a lot of Giants. That includes the coaching staff like Jason Garrett. It includes Dave Gettleman. It includes Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley. A lot of players. It's a big season for the Giants because either you're going forward or you're going to have to tear it down and start over again. This is massive. The Giants are right on the top of the hill. So they're either going full steam ahead or they're going the other way. Let's hope they're going full steam ahead. I think they're going full steam ahead this year.
So do I.
Ruben, thank you so much. Really appreciate it, brother. Really, really. Who do you see the Knicks playing in the Eastern Conference Finals? I'm not going to go.
We got to get to that 5 seed first to give us an opportunity to get to the second round. But listen,
6th seed, right?
I don't take the 6th seed right now. I don't take the hoodie off. They
no,
won
isn't it
6 straight.
6, 7 through 10 have the play-in games, right?
Yeah, but the 5 seed you avoid one of the top 3 in the East. So even though the Celtics are playing good, the Celtics are the 4 right now.
Let me tell you something. I kind of want that. I don't, but I do. I want the Knicks to get the 8th seed because I want them to scare them.
Hey, let us get the 4 or the 5. Let's win our first round,
second round,
and then let's play the Nets.
All right, good. Because I'm telling you right now, the Knicks would scare. The Knicks against the Nets will be the 92 Knicks against the Bulls.
The one thing I'm going to say about the Knicks.
Exactly what happened in that series.
The one thing I'm going to say about the Knicks, and I'm not picking them to win. I'm a realistic fan. I'm not going crazy. We've won 6 straight. It's great. Feels amazing. I'm not going to get fans' heads in the clouds, and then they go crazy if we lose a playoff series. What I'm going to say about the Knicks, they may lose at 5. Those games are close. Those games are going to be close because that team plays defense, and one of the best defensive teams in the league. And you and I both know, come playoff time, the game slows down. It becomes more of a half-court game. Thibodeau's defense is going to come to play. The Knicks are going to fight. They're going to claw, and they're going to be in those games. I'm not saying they're going to win them, but they're not going to get embarrassed. They're going to be in those games.
That's what I mean. 92 Bulls and Knicks. That's exactly what it'll be if they play the Nets. And I was watching the Knicks back today because of the Yankees. I was streaming them. The Knicks were playing at the same time, and then the Rangers played at 3. So I had to watch Yankees. I taped the Knicks. I taped the Rangers. Thibodeau said right at the beginning of the game, he said the 70s Knicks and the 90s. And the 70s Knicks won a couple of championships. The 90s Knicks were there a couple of times, couldn't get over the hump. But he mentioned defense. He said those teams won with defense. The defense is very important. And he's right. I always say that this Knicks team reminds you of the 90s Knicks. They're not the most talented team, but that team is not outworked by any other team on that court. That team fights, scratches, claws. They embody New York. Then my Yankee rant today, I told everybody, go to Madison Square Garden. Don't go to Yankee Stadium. Go watch the teams that will fight for you in New York. Those teams are fighters. The Yankees are not. Go watch the Knicks. That's a bunch of fighters. You love that as a New Yorker. That's all you ask. You want to win, but all you ask is for effort. Try so hard.
I wake up every morning, even when the Knicks aren't playing, I can't wait to call the next game. I'm so pumped up about this team, and I'm glad that New York basketball's back because it's the Knicks. It's not the Nets. New York basketball's the Knicks. And
wait till the Knicks get their Giannis type of guy, and then we'll see what Brooklyn.
I'm ecstatic that they're back.
They're going to be back when they get a superstar because they are going to get a superstar.
Yeah.
Taco Nacho, thank you so much, brother. Brilly says Parsons slipped to the Giants like Thomas last year. Faith. Well, I don't know if Thomas slipped to the Giants last year. We picked 4th. Or are you talking about McKinney?
Parsons slipped to the Giants like Tom. Oh, well, Thomas didn't. I don't think Thomas slipped to us last year.
Right.
At 4, nobody was taking Thomas before 4. That was the earliest he was going to get taken. Yeah. McKinney slipped.
McKinney slipped a lot. He got lucky there.
Yeah.
Brian, thanks so much, buddy. I appreciate it. Really says to me, if Joe Judge has a lot to say in this year's draft, then I trust him that he will make the right decision. Yeah. I think the Giants.
Well, that's the other thing, though, Baddog, is another thing that people don't factor in. We could both agree that Joe Judge is a much better coach than Pat Shurmur.
Absolutely.
So, does anybody ever stop to think that maybe the players that Gettleman was drafting weren't as bad as it looked because they had Pat Shurmur as their coach, and now you got Joe Judge as the coach, and the coach is coaching those players up? So
that's what you do. It's coaches do that.
So, Brian, I agree with you. That's why I'm not as nervous about this pick because I truly believe no matter who we pick, these coaches are going to get the most out of them.
Right.
So
that's what the coaches are. That's the coach's job.
Yeah.
It's coach's job.
Yeah.
And I agree. I agree. Roldy, thanks so much, brother. Really. Chris. It's cool to hope and pray Jones has a good season. But to say Jones is going to have a good season,
I'm not hoping and praying. I think he's going to have a good season.
I'm curious to know based on what.
No, it's simple. I mean, I go over this all the time, but I go over with you again, Roldy, because I love you. Saquon Barkley's back. He's got a career 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions with Barkley in the lineup over 10 games. He's a completely different quarterback without him. The offensive line should be more advanced. Second year in the scheme. Jones should be more accustomed to the scheme. You added Kenny Golladay. You added Kyle Rudolph. You added John Ross. So it only makes sense to me that he should take a step up this year. It's the same thing with Josh Allen last year. Go back, watch my video last year. I said the 2 breakout quarterbacks going into the year before a game was played. Josh Allen, number 1, Baker Mayfield, number 2. I love the foundation that the Browns gave Mayfield with the offensive line. I love what the Bills did. They got him wide receivers. The team improved around Jones. The offense specifically, he's more accustomed to the scheme. There's a lot of reasons to believe that Daniel Jones will have a much improved season. By much improved, I'm not telling you he's going to be Josh Allen. I'm telling you he's going to be a good quarterback that could win games.
The only difference I'll say between those 2 quarterbacks you mentioned, number 1, Josh Allen's skill set's a lot better than Daniel Jones.
I agree. He's not Josh Allen. He's not going to throw 40
Number
touchdowns.
2, the big one. Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen, to me, mentally tougher than Daniel Jones right now. You hope that changes. And again, I think there's lack of confidence. I said this the other night. Lack of confidence in anything you do, you're going to fail. No matter what you're doing, you better have confidence in what you're doing. You can't be scared to fail. You may fail, but you can't be scared to fail. You can't think that you're going to fail. Because if you think that, you're going to fail. So you just have to take your chances.
Yeah.
That is my biggest worry about Daniel Jones. If this kid, if he can come out, Chris, and have 3 you don't need to throw 4 touchdowns in each game. But if Daniel Jones can get through the first 3 games with like 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, they're 2-1. I think he had a really good year. But if he comes out and he has a couple bad games and he has 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions through the first 3 games and they're 1-2, then I worry that he's going to go backwards. I really think with Daniel Jones, it's mental. I say it all the time. Physically, he can do it. It's why I'm so high on him that I think that he can do it. It's why I get so pissed because I know that he can do it. I shouldn't say think. I know he can. It's him. He has to process. He has to have confidence in his throws. I think if he can get that, he's going to be a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
He's not Josh Allen. He's not close. But in terms of talent, but I do think he's going to have a good year this year. I really do.
Can Daniel Jones take a tackle from a comp like Baker Mayfield did? That's the question.
I honestly think he's just as talented as Mayfield. And I'm not super high on Jones in terms of talent. I think he's an above-average talented quarterback in terms of just pure physical attributes. I don't think he's like a super talented quarterback. I think he's a slightly above average in terms of just pure physical abilities. He's good enough. Mayfield, to me, when I watch him, what does he do that's special? I know that he's got like this mental makeup and, he's a winner, I guess, but nothing that he does to me jumps off the charts. So
he's a leader.
But in fairness, Mayfield, if we're being fair, is a much better supporting cast than what Jones does with that offensive line. So
he does.
Yeah.
Hot Nicks, thanks so much, brother. Really, my man says, what's good? My favorite duo. You all cleaned up. Yes, we did. How about them Hot Nicks? What do you think? What do you each think the biggest move of round 1 is? Iron Lung out. Iron Lung, the Hot Nicks, Method Man.
Who do I think is what do you think each
biggest move of round 1?
Maybe the biggest surprise. Is that what he means? Or
I'm guessing that's what he meant there.
If there, I can't give you a name, but if there's going to be a team that reaches, if that's what you mean by that, I don't know if that's what you meant. Atlanta would be the first team on the top of my head. I could see them reaching. I could see Atlanta having an off the wall pick. Like if you consider Patrick Surtain an off the wall pick, I could see that. I could see something like that. So
yeah, they don't know how to draft.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see that. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I could see it. The 49ers, Mac Jones. I think there's smoke behind that. I think that's a reach. So I could say that as well.
I think you're right. I think if I have to pick, I think Atlanta would make the mistake. Kyle Pitts is supposed to be one of the best players in this draft. It doesn't make sense at 4 for Atlanta. They're going, again, they have a quarterback that's aging. They have to start to rebuild. If there's a quarterback there that they don't like or they don't want to go quarterback, they should trade that pick, to be honest with you. But they could definitely sit there and take a Kyle Pitts. They could definitely take Pat Surtain. They could definitely go off the wall. They definitely could. I think the first 3 picks are quarterbacks. I don't know what the Mac Jones deal is with San Francisco. I don't know what they're doing, because it's not like the first 2 picks aren't already set in stone. So I don't know why they would have smoke for Mac Jones. It's not like there's a couple teams picking in between them and they want another quarterback and they're just saying they're taking Mac Jones. So I really don't know. But it'll be interesting for sure to see what those. I think those 2 teams, like Chris said, I think those are the ones that would make the off the wall move. 3 and 4 are going to be interesting to watch to see what those 2 teams do.
Yeah, like I look at the other teams, I don't think the Bengals are going to make an off the wall move. I think they're either going with Chase or an offensive lineman. I don't think Miami's. I think they're going to take a weapon or an offensive lineman.
It'd be the same thing. I think whoever's left out of the Cincinnati one, I think that's where Miami goes.
Yeah, I think the Lions are going wide receiver or maybe Parsons, but neither one would be like shocker.
Denver could go quarterback.
But again, that's not really
Carolina.
Carolina's that's an interesting one. I think it's either Slater if Sewell's not there, or a wide receiver. The only team outside of the 49ers, if you count that, if you believe in the Mac Jones stuff, that I could see that could like shock is really Atlanta, because they could go so many ways. I could see Atlanta throwing a monkey wrench in there, and maybe the Cowboys. Like if Pitts ever fell, maybe the Cowboys, because I think that'd be a horrible pick for the Cowboys, even though Pitts is great. That's the last thing they need. So maybe the Cowboys, but I don't think Pitts is dropping there. So if I had to pick one team, it's Atlanta.
Pistol Pete, thanks so much, brother. Really says, it's okay. I'll go crazy for you, Tainah. Let's go, Knicks. Fight.
Oh, trust me, I'm going crazy for the Knicks. I'm just not setting championship expectations.
Yeah. No, I don't think they're there yet. Yeah. One superstar away, though.
Yeah.
One. Devin Booker. Bring him home.
Perfect.
There you go. Andrew Thomas, thanks so much, brother. Really. He says, did you guys see the Giants Wire article about himself being the 3rd best O-line on the current roster?
Yeah, I saw it, Andrew Thomas. I forgot who said it. It was quoted. His pass, they showed the PFF grade. I think he was fifth in pass blocking last year among the rookies. It's misleading, though, because for one, he had a foot injury the entire year that you found out after the fact. 2, the first 8 games of the year, he looked lost, or 6 games, whatever it was. So if you take out those first 6 games after Judge stepped in and we got rid of Colombo, Thomas played pretty damn good.
Yep.
And the other thing that they don't mention in that article, Baddog, is the edge rushers that the guy went up against.
Went up some good ones.
The best.
He shut down Myles Garrett. I know that.
Shut down Myles Garrett, shut down Chase Young twice. So, I mean, I think he became much better over the second half of the year, and I got a lot of confidence in Andrew Thomas going into year 2.
I agree. I mean, that whole thing with Colombo, that happened as soon as Thomas's offensive line coach from Georgia or whatever it was, his mentor, said, what the hell are you doing? Like, he's not doing anything that he did at Georgia with the Giants. As soon as that came out, things changed. And then everything happened. And then Googs came in there, and they got rid of Colombo, and Andrew Thomas played a lot better. That's the other thing the offensive line to deal with, guys, is a change in coaching staff in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
So
I'm not worried about Andrew Thomas.
I think Andrew Thomas is going to be good.
Yeah.
I do. John, thank you so much, brother. Really says, what up, guys? Watch out for the UB players in the draft. Thanks, Tainah, for getting me interested in the Knicks since Ewing when they had a spree.
Thank you. Thank you for watching, man. I have a lot of fun doing those streams, and it's been a long time since it's been fun to watch the Knicks. That 2013 team with Mel, that's really the last time we had a lot of fun. So
it was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
8 years. And they still underachieved. They should have got to the finals, the Eastern Conference Finals. Shouldn't have lost it.
Should have beat the Pacers, yeah.
Shouldn't have lost Indy. Yeah, that was still disheartening.
Still have nightmares about Roy Hibbert.
I still have nightmares about Charles Smith, so there you go. Choose my age. God almighty. Mac the Giants, man, thank you so much, brother. Really. Judge is a head coach. Sherman was an offensive coordinator posing as a head coach. That's fact.
I see, just want to shout out Rel. I see Rel in the chat. He brought up something about Devin Booker. He is under contract till 2024, but there's slight rumors that he may want out of Phoenix, but I'm not going to read too much into it. As far as Judge a head coach, Sherman I agree with that. It's the same thing with McAdoo. He wasn't a head coach either. A head coach is somebody that demands the respect of the players on the team. First and foremost, above anything else. The players quit on Ben McAdoo, and Shermer, he had guys falling asleep in meetings.
Yeah.
So that, to me, is the most important attribute of a head coach. Period. End of story. So, yeah, that's what Judge has over those two.
Real quick, I see Chicago Giants fan on Twitter says, in my lifetime, Giants quarterbacks are Sims, Collins, and Manning. If Jones can be at least 80% of those guys, he'll be okay. I agree. Those are the best three that I've seen in my lifetime, too, because Tarkenton was before my time, and Tittle was way before my time. Somebody said a great rant today, Baddog, embarrassing. Yes. I knew that was coming. When the Rays hit that home run in the ninth inning, I felt that. I was trying not to rant, but as soon as that happened, I had to go off. I couldn't do it anymore, man.
Was it a tie game when they hit it? Or what?
No, it was 3-2. The Yankees were losing 3-2. The funny thing is, Satsugo comes up in the seventh. He's hitting 146. I say to the guys in the chat, I said, this is the type of guy that always gets a big hit against the Yankees. Sure enough, he hits a gap double. Judge and Hicks both jog after the ball, and that really sets me off too. The Yankees just embarrassing right now. They are just completely embarrassing. And that's something else, and people are like, I thought you're a Knicks fan, man, because I stream the Lakers. And I have to explain that all the time. Luke Cornett played the other night, and I said, former Nick, he's on the Celtics. I said, former Nick, Luke Cornett. You have to, I said, if that doesn't prove that I'm a Knicks fan, to know that guy played for the Knicks, I don't know what's going to do it, okay? A
lot of Knicks fans like Luke Cornett.
Right, but who that's not a Knicks fan would know that Luke Cornett was a Nick?
Yeah.
That's my point. I said, if I don't tell you that I watch it, then I'm a Knicks fan. Come on.
Yeah.
And I know that guy's a Knick. Rolly, thanks so much, brother. Really. He says, you guys just need to get in the octagon. He says, so you're basing off that. Not worried DJ's main issues are mental makeup, inability to go through his progressions, his pocket awareness, his decision-making, and adding those weapons erases those issues. Got it.
We're going to find out, Rolly.
It could, Rolly. We're hoping.
We're going to find out.
But obviously,
I like to think with a better supporting cast, he doesn't feel like he has to put it up on himself. And as far as the mental makeup goes, the same thing for Saquon Barkley. Doesn't feel like he has to force throws. He's put in a better situation. But yeah, his pocket awareness has to get better. Nobody. I'm not going to debate that. It needs to get better.
Yeah. Everything Rolly said needs everything that I'm worried about, and I agree. He's got to get better at all of it. Yvonne, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. Really, my man. Hey, Chris and Baddog. Cheers from Brazil. Brazil's in the house, man. That's awesome. What's going on, Ivan? From Brazil? Cheers to you, buddy. From New York. He says, what would you think if the Giants took Surtain at 11?
You're not going to see me ecstatic. I'd be content, but I wouldn't be. You're not going to see me celebrate if they take him. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, Yvonne, I wouldn't be upset, but I definitely prefer other people than Surtain. But I'm not going to get upset. Listen, I did a mock draft. There's a lot of people that would get really mad at that because I did a mock draft and I had him taking Kelvin Joseph in the second round. I got killed for that. So, I can understand that, but cornerback, that is a new school philosophy. A lot of cornerback depth, a lot of secondary depth. He's definitely worked on that. It wouldn't be the most shocking pick that Gettleman's made, but yeah, I definitely have other preferences over Surtain. I just think we have deeper needs than Pat Surtain.
And I'll be the first to say, if we didn't sign Adoree Jackson, I would have been saying I want to take a corner in the first round.
Yeah,
I've been crying for a corner since week 10 last year. But after you sign Adoree Jackson with a $13 million contract a year, you got Bradbury on the other side, you got Darnay Holmes, who showed growth throughout the year. It's not near our biggest need. I'm completely for drafting a corner in the third, fourth round area, whatever it may be, but not in the first. That's just my opinion. Not in the first.
Raw Rebel, my man. What's going on, brother? Really says the Giants are destined for second place behind Washington. So you know who he roots for. He says Daniel Jones is an underachieving first-round bust. I'm not going to call him a bust yet. It's been 2 years. Underachieving at number 6. I'm not going to argue with you. The guy was picked 6th. He's underachieved. I'm not making excuses. He's underachieved. I don't give a damn about the bad offensive line, big. I don't care. You're right. No. He's the 6th pick. He needs to be better. I'll agree with that. I'm not going to call him a bust yet. You drafted Dwayne Haskins. There you go. That was a bust.
Nope.
That was a bust. Yep. Daniel Jones, I'll say this, Raw Rebel, with everything the Giants have done this year to help him, with the draft still coming, and I'm sure that they will help him even more. If he doesn't perform this year with the same coaching staff, with the full offseason, then I'll get on board with you.
Let me throw this hypothetical out there.
But you haven't beaten him yet either, Raw Rebel. He's 4-0 against your team. I didn't want to throw that out there.
And I don't think this is going to happen because I think Jones is going to have a good year. I really do. But let's throw this hypothetical out there. Let's say the Giants win 9 games this year, 8 games this year, 8, 9. And the echo's back, I think. And Jones doesn't play that good. Like he plays bad. if you have the opportunity to trade for Aaron Rodgers, you're not going to be in a position to draft a quarterback. And you feel like you have the team in place if you have a good quarterback. Do you entertain doing it?
Depends on what we have to give up.
Yeah. Just a hypothetical.
If you feel like you're a quarterback away from winning a Super Bowl, you do it. I don't give a shit.
Let's say because you figure Green Bay is going to look to trade him sooner or later because they drafted his successor. So say everything else is really good and Jones is bad this year. Do you entertain it? I don't think it's going to happen. I think Jones is going to be good.
If you think you're a quarterback away from winning a Super Bowl, you do it because you will mortgage your future for a Super Bowl. The Eagles did it. The Eagles fans may not like it now, but there's no way in hell they tell you, oh, I'd rather go back and redo it and not have a championship in 2017. The Eagles fans will deal with what we've dealt with for the last 5 years after winning a Super Bowl. I guarantee it. They'll be like, okay, listen, this sucks, but we won a Super Bowl because of what we did. If we had to suck for another 5 years after winning a Super Bowl, I'm sure Giants fans could live with it. I could live with it.
Yeah.
It's all about winning a Super Bowl. So
it's just a hypothetical.
I'd rather have Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Throwing the veteran quarterback that you'd want, but I just feel like Rodgers might be available. That's why I used his name. The hypothetical, he is the type of quarterback that could, with a good team, could obviously take you to a Super Bowl. The hypothetical I threw out there, Roldy, was kind of like what the Bucs did with Brady. If Jones failed, kind of like Winston did with the Bucs. If Jones failed next year, but the Giants weren't picking high enough to draft the quarterback. Say they're picking 15 because the rest of the team was good. They had a really good defense, and they won 8 or 9 games, but Jones was really bad, and you didn't think he was a part of the future. Which, again, this is worst-case scenario. We want Jones to be a part of the future.
Right.
But in the hypothetical scenario where Jones regresses or stays the same and the defense is really good, do you entertain trading for Aaron Rodgers if he's out there on the open market, if you feel like you have the rest of the team in place to win a Super Bowl?
Tom Brady won one.
Yeah. Just hypothetical. Just throwing it out there.
Like I said, if you feel you're a quarterback from winning the Super Bowl, I would definitely go for it. Taco Nacho, thank you so much, brother. Brilly. He says slept, not slip. Parsons is being slept to the Giants. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Slept, not slip. Parsons being slept to the Giants. I don't know. Maybe it means Giants fans are sleeping on Parsons going to the Giants. I don't know. I know Taco wants Parsons.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I would take Parsons. Andrew Thomas, thanks so much, brother. Brilly. Chris, have you done any film breakdown on Hader Patterson from UB?
No.
If not, he's a great sleeper running in the 4th or 5th. No.
That's the running back from Buffalo? I didn't. Is that his nickname, Hader Patterson? I remember the last name Patterson. Maybe that's his nickname. I have seen some highlights of him, the running back from Buffalo. I have seen him. Yes. And that's around where he's going, the 4th, 5th round.
I want Trey Sermon in the 4th round. I want my Sooners to be Giants and not Eagles and Cowboys like they're every year. Trey Sermon in the 4th. Trey Sermon's there in the Giants pick in the 4th round. I'm going to run up to the podium and announce it. I'm going to turn that pick. I'm going to call Dave and I'm going to say, listen, you're taking a kid from Oklahoma/Ohio State. You're taking him. He's 6'1", 215. He runs like Wayne Gallman. He's a downhill runner. He trucks forward. He's a perfect complement to Saquon Barkley. I want Trey Sermon in the 4th round.
A lot of Giants fans like Trey Sermon. I know you do. I've seen a lot of other Giants fans mention him as well.
He'd be perfect for us.
Yeah.
Pitch Pete, thank you, brother. Really. Probably Giants trade back to add picks for holes.
Like 10%. I don't think we're trading back. I'm going to actually have a mock draft up tomorrow, the Gettleman Project, where we do trade back. And I'll talk about what I think we would get. But if I'm being honest with you, Pete, not very likely.
Again, Pete, I have a hard time thinking the Giants could pass on anybody that's if they really don't like anybody that's there and they can get draft capital, maybe. What I could see the Giants do at some point, maybe the Giants would trade back later in the draft. I could see them doing that. They almost did it last year, but McKinney ended up falling to them. I have a hard time seeing them trading the 11 pick unless they get a lot in return. I don't see them making the move there. I think that they can get a really good player at 11 because there's going to be probably at least 4 quarterbacks that go in the top 10.
I'd be surprised. I would be surprised.
Yeah, I I don't think it's a high probability.
I get the thinking of it, especially because we only have
absolutely.
6 picks, but I don't think it's going to happen.
By the way, we still have over 600 people in here. So again, guys, girls, thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Do us a favor, smack the like button if you have not. It helps out the stream. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell to this channel. But more importantly, make sure you go into the description. The link to the Entertainer Talking Sports is there. If you haven't subbed him up, sub him up. We do this show every week, rather. We alternate channels. Next week, we'll be on Chris's channel. We will be doing a mock draft on this show and obviously taking your opinions from the chat. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be the first time that I've worked with Chris on a mock draft live. So that should be a lot of fun. So we'll do that. And then, like I said, if you're new to both channels, we will be covering the draft all 3 days. First night is on my channel. The next 2 days are on Chris's channel. We had a lot of fun covering it last year. So we'll have all your draft coverage right here on the Chris and the Baddog show. So hopefully you guys will like I said, like and subscribe to both channels. We also do all the Giants football games during the regular season together. And thank you for being here. Really do appreciate it. Chicago Giants fan on Twitter. Thank you so much, brother. Brilly says, I think the Atlanta, Carolina, and Denver picks are potential trade up spots. I don't think the top 10 will go on script. Someone will trade up.
Yeah, I think Atlanta, the one I'm going to have mocked, I'm probably going to have my final first round mock up like 3 days before the draft. That's what I usually do, Chicago. But I'm going to give you a spoiler right now. I am going to have a trade in the top 10. I'm going to have Atlanta trading down from 4 to 9. In the end, I do think Atlanta's going to trade out of that pick because I don't think they're taking a quarterback after they backcoated Ryan's salary. And I think a team will trade up to 4 to get one. And I have that team pegged to be Denver. That's just a guess, but that's what I'm going to have my last mock.
You think that's who's going there?
I'm going to have Denver going up to 4 to get a quarterback, yeah.
But do you think it's Fields?
I mean, it's either Fields or – well, it depends, obviously, who San Francisco takes. Because they could take Fields or.
Do you think Denver will trade up for Mac Jones? Do you think
no? Denver but they might trade. They might trade up for Lance.
Oh, that's true. I was going to say, do you think that San Francisco's pick hinges on what Denver does? Like, if say Denver really likes Trey Lance and San Francisco says we're taking Trey Lance, and they're like, no. That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I don't affect your mock, but I'm just saying.
You're right. No, you're right. That trade probably wouldn't go down until draft day after San Francisco picks and they saw which quarterback they selected. But I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like Atlanta's trading out of that spot. I think there's going to be a team that wants to move up to get a quarterback. And I just think that's the spot to trade up to. Now, maybe not. Maybe Atlanta stays where they are. Maybe they take Penei Sewell if they're not going quarterback. And then maybe so. I think there's going to be a trade up into the top 10 for a quarterback. I'd be surprised if there's not.
Yeah, I agree with that, man.
Look at the 2018 draft where it was quarterback heavy, right? You had 5 quarterbacks. You had Lamar Jackson. You had Josh Allen. You had Josh Rosen. You had Baker Mayfield. You had Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, nobody had to trade up for. Jets traded up for Darnold. Cardinals traded up for Rosen. Bills traded up for Allen. Ravens traded up for Lamar Jackson. All 4 were traded up for in a rich quarterback draft class. You've already seen trades that kind of mimic that draft already. You saw somebody move up to 3 like the Jets did to secure their quarterback.
Yeah, but they traded up to 3 thinking they were getting Baker Mayfield.
No, I know. I'm just saying. But I think you're going to see something similar. I think you're going to see another trade up into the top 10 or even top 4 to get a quarterback.
Saw our boy Cop Pizzle's in the chat. Always like to shout out, my man. Cop Pizzle. What's going on, Pizzle? He said Daddy is here. I did see that real quick.
Pizzle, what's going on, my man?
What's going on? I know he's excited about the draft. He's excited about I mean, who isn't? Who isn't, man? Big shout out to him. Check out his channel. There's one of the most passionate Giants fans you're going to find on YouTube or anywhere for that matter. So definitely check out Cop Pizzle, man. It's amazing how fast the kids grow, ain't it, man? Like it's just insane. It's just insane how fast our kids grow. Because Cop posts things on Instagram. His kids are awesome, by the way, and he posts his page, and I'm like, it's just amazing how fast like his son is growing. It's crazy. It's just crazy how fast time flies. And you have a kid. It's unbelievable, man. Raw Rebel, thanks so much, brother. Brilly says Giants will have a top 5 defense this year. All the pressure is on Jones and Gettleman with the amount of money they spent at free agency. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. And Garrett. Throw his name in there, too.
What do the kids say nowadays? No cap.
No cap, yeah.
No cap. No cap, Raw Rebel. Jonathan, thanks so much, brother. Brilly, will the 11th pick be a Gettleman or a Joe pick?
Both.
I think they'll.
I go back to what I said before. I think Gettleman has the same say that he had when Shermer was the coach. I think it was collaborative then. I think it's collaborative now. Yeah.
I agree. Neal Kelly, thank you so much, brother. Really potential sleepers to drop to the Giants in the second round. Is it possible that Rousseau falls that far?
Yes.
There you go. That'd be my pick.
Away's another one. I can't really see Bateman dropping that far. I could see Kadarius Toney, if you consider that a sleeper. I could see him falling.
He's kind of projected as a second round guy, though.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I could say maybe the Eagles will take him at the first.
Yeah.
round pick. That'd be awesome.
Maybe
Kyle Trask. Why not?
Maybe I could. You know what? I one of those offensive linemen I could see falling like that. A lot of people think are going in the first. I could see that for sure. You go back to the draft in 19 when we had the 3 first-round picks. I forgot who it was. There were 2 offensive linemen that really dropped in that draft that I thought they were going to take. A lot of people, the guy out of Florida, I don't know why I'm forgetting his name. I think he ended up in Buffalo. He went like 36. Most people had him going top 10. So I could definitely see one of the offensive linemen dropping out into the second round as well that a lot of people think is maybe Tevin Jenkins. I don't know. But I could see one of these guys that most people think is penciled in for top 20 pick. Maybe one of them falls out of the first round.
No, it's why the draft is
Juwan Taylor, there it is. And Cody Ford.
Cody Ford fell, yes.
Yeah, both of them. And both of them were projected to be Juwan Taylor. Most people thought probably a week before the draft was going to be the first lineman taken. And he ended up going second round.
That's right.
So that happens a lot. So I could definitely see one of those linemen dropping.
And why Giants 26. Thanks so much, brother. Billy says, hot take. Jets fall in love with Fields. Zach Wilson to San Francisco. That is a hot take. I'll be shocked if that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a hot take. I don't think it's a crazy take, but all signs point to Wilson go to the Jets. And if you talk to most Jet fans, I watch a lot of Jets content. They know their team better than me. They all seem to think like Wilson fits their scheme the best.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be Wilson.
I do too.
Yeah.
Listen, though, I've always said I don't like Ohio State quarterbacks, but if I was going to pick one, I do like Fields a lot.
Yeah.
I do. Jeremiah, thanks so much, brother. Brilly, my man. He says, Baddog and Chris, did you see the Jake fake Paul fight? If so, do you think it was legit? I don't. I didn't see it, but I've heard a lot of complaints that it was fixed.
I saw the highlights. He had a nice combo at the end of it. I mean, I can't believe people paid for that.
Somebody said that Rugnit Odor should fight Jake Paul. I said, Odor can't make contact with a baseball, but we know he can make contact with a jaw. For most of you that know, he pretty much knocked Jose Bautista out when he was on the Rangers.
You know what boxing is becoming? And I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember what did you say?
Wrestling?
Well, yeah, but do you remember I think it was on MTV when they used to have the Clay celebrity fights?
Oh, yes. I do remember that.
What was that called?
Oh, God. What the hell was it? Celebrity Deathmatch?
I think that's what it was. Celebrity Deathmatch. That's what boxing is becoming. They're just picking up any celebrity and throwing them in the ring and charging $60 for a pay-per-view. And people pay for it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I don't get it. But that's what it's becoming. It's becoming Celebrity Deathmatch. That's what boxing is now. Because boxing is dying so much that they're just grasping at straws and they're trying to get anything that'll draw a crowd.
I haven't watched boxing since the Tyson Holyfield days. The late 90s is as far as I go. I stopped watching after that.
Yeah.
The 80s was really good boxing. The 80s was really good. Middleweight, heavyweight, it was all good. Patrick, thanks so much, brother. Really, any Giants not attending voluntary? I thought none of them were attending because of the COVID thing.
They're not. OTAs, they're not. They're not going. Yeah. But I think 19 other teams have confirmed as well that they're not going. So I don't think there's gonna be a lot of teams that aren't going.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah,
that's why they're voluntary. So
yeah,
it's understandable. G Nation, thanks so much, brother. Really. One Jamin Davis. How do you say that? Jamin Davis at 42 and Slater at 11. What do you think? Davis is a good linebacker prospect.
Yeah, if they get Slater and him, I'd be really happy. A lot of people like Davis. He's moved up. I've seen a lot of people think Davis is the second or third best linebacker in this draft class. And I think there's a good chance he'll be there. So, yeah, I almost had him mocked actually in the one I'm going to do tomorrow. I almost had him going to the Giants. But, yeah, I could definitely see them going that route with a linebacker in the second round if they elect to go with Slater in the first. Yes.
Personally, I'd rather have Ronnie Perkins. Again, it's sooner bias of me. But I think Perkins would be perfect for the New York Giants. listen, I told you, give me 3 Sooners. You give me Ronnie Perkins, give me Creed Humphrey, and give me Trey Sermon. I know Sermon played for the Buckeyes this year. He's a Sooner. Played 3 years at Oklahoma. Give me those 3 guys. I always want the damn Sooners. It's rare that I want defensive players. I did want Kenneth Murray. I loved Kenneth Murray. Kenneth Murray's a dog. That's the Charger fans. Kenneth Murray's the man. It was rare. I never wanted to see. I
like Murray too last year, and I like Queen. I like Patrick Queen too.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd be happy. I would love Creed. Yeah. Tyler, thank you so much. There you go. How happy would you be if Creed fell to us? Yes, Chris.
I'd be happy too.
Creed since our show started.
No, I'd be happy too. I guess that's like my hot take for the first round. I think he's going to go in the first round. You know, last year, a lot of people didn't think Ruiz would go in the first round. He did.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go in the first round. I think he's going to go to the Steelers. That's my bold prediction. The Steelers need a center. That's my bold prediction. I think he's going to go to the Steelers.
I hope not. I would love Creed. You move Nick Gates back to his natural position, man. Creed is a dog. Like Creed is a dog. Like I love Creed. Yeah. Like I said, I've been talking about Creed for 3 years on this show. So yeah, I mean, you guys know how I feel about him. Irish Rover, thanks so much, brother. Really, my man. He says, guys, I really believe defense wins games. I think we get an edge in the first round. I want to go back to Giants. Punch in the face defense. Go Giants. Yeah, me too.
That's what wins football games, Irish. That's the way. When the Giants are at their best, they're strong in the trenches. So I'm with you on that, my man.
That's what Gettleman wants to do. Gettleman's trying to make this team strong in the trenches.
We've always been a lunch pail team. We say it all the time.
He's traded for Leonard Williams. He drafted Dexter Lawrence. You know, he obviously went out. He drafted 3 offensive linemen last year. He signed Nate Solder. Not that really worked out, but he drafted Will Hernandez. He has certainly went into the trenches.
Yeah.
And try to fix his team. And he will do it again this year. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to do that with the first pick, but I'm sure that he will do something as far as defensive and offensive line in this draft at some point. Yeah, and he's not going to ignore the wide receiver, though, this year. I don't think he's going to. I think the Giants, one of those first 2 rounds are going wide receiver. I really believe that. I think
a lot of people feel that way, so we'll see.
Matt, thanks so much, brother. Really says, I want Landon Dickerson, Pancake King. And he's not saying that because he works at IHOP.
Landon Dickerson is really good. Almost everyone that that I've watched do film breakdown on him feels he's a first round talent. But the guy's had an injury history. If it wasn't for the injury history, he's going in the first round. He's had 2 torn ACLs. 2. That's something I worry about. He grew up a Giants fan. I know Giants fans would love him. He has experience playing at both the guard and the center spot. I'm not going to be upset if we draft him in the second round, but I do worry about the injury history.
Yeah. We have quite a few guys in this team that seem to have an injury history.
Yeah.
A running back, quarterback. Dory Jackson played 2 games last year. Kenny Golladay didn't play many games last year. We'll see. McKinney was hurt. I mean, not that that's injury history, but we do have some guys coming off some injuries. And you just hope that they can stay healthy this year, man. I know injuries are part of football, but my God, the Giants get killed with injuries. Washington does too. The Giants in Washington, Dallas got besieged with injuries last year too, but so did the Eagles for that. A lot of teams did because it just wasn't a normal year. But in a normal season, it seems like the New York Giants and the Washington football team have more guys on IR than any other teams in football. It really does seem like, and not that that's the main reason that the Giants and Washington have been at the bottom of this division for years until last year. And neither team is really good. Let's face it. I mean, you're both losing teams. Neither team here was even 500. But it doesn't help. Mm-hmm. So that's a big part of it. The Giants got to stay healthy.
What was the name of that center again? That you said it earlier, that the Cowboys. Tyler Biadasz. I could see that being the case with Dickerson. If you remember last year, and I will say, but if you remember last year, a lot of people said Tyler Biadasz is a 2nd-round pick. The injury scared a lot of teams off. He went all the way back to the 4th, 5th round, whatever round it was. I'm not saying Dickerson's going to go that late.
It was the 3rd.
I think it was later than the 3rd because we took Parrott.
Matt Parrott in the 3rd round. I really think that Biadasz went in the 3rd round. I think Cowboys took him in the 3rd.
I'm curious. I'm going to look that up. Maybe you're right. Let me look. I'm curious. I thought it was later than that, but maybe you're right.
It could have been. Tyler, thank you so much, brother. Really. I want Creed Humphrey in round 2 no matter what.
4th round. So they jumped us in the
Okay,
4th.
it was 4th round. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it was. They jumped because I knew we picked early, so they jumped us in the 4th round. That's what it was.
Yeah, they jumped us, and then we ended up taking Darnay Holmes. Yeah.
That worked out okay.
Yeah.
Pretty
good. Pretty good.
That worked out okay. But it was early 4th round. So that's why I was thinking it was the 3rd round. Or did we have 2 4th round picks last year? No, we just had a bunch of 7ths. We had 2 5ths and a bunch of 7ths, right?
We had 10 picks last year. I know that.
We had 4 7th rounders.
Yeah, we had 4 7th 4 7th, 1 6th.
2 5ths.
Only 1 3rd because we traded a 3rd for Leonard Williams, and we had the comp pick for what's his name, Collins. That was our 3rd round pick for Matt Parrott. Yeah, I think we only had 1 4th. Maybe we had 2. I think we only had 1 4th though.
Chill boy, thank you so much. Really, my man. Recently saw a take on Twitter that said Parsons' issues won't scare the Giants away if he's available. What do you guys think? I love him if he's available. I said, chill boy, when I did like I said, the last Giants video I did was about Parsons, and it's just, it's not that I don't want to do Giants content. It really just has been nothing to do with video. I mean, really, for me, nothing. And I said that if Pitts wasn't there, I think Micah Parsons would be my second choice because, I mean, I just think that Micah Parsons could take the Giants to an elite level defense. And I know I feel like you can get an offensive lineman in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Giants offense did a lot to help the team. And again, getting Saquon Barkley back should certainly help. I just feel like a Micah Parsons would make us into a top 5 defense. And you can win with a top 5 defense.
I think one player almost all Giants fans, if the character concerns check out, which if the Giants draft him, they did.
Mm-hmm.
I think one player that all Giants fans, for the most part, I would say 98% of Giants fans could come together on and be happy. It's him. Yeah. If we go offensive line, there's definitely going to be a large portion of the fan base that's going to be pissed. If we go wide receiver, there's going to be a large portion of the fan base that's going to be pissed. If we take Micah Parsons, I feel like that pick on draft night will be the most overall liked by the fan base. Like, I don't think very few Giants fans will be upset if we take Micah Parsons. I think he's a difference maker. I think he fits the scheme, and he could make this defense hit that next level.
Yeah, I would love that. I wanted Isaiah Simmons last year. I grew up in that era, man. I grew up with the Lawrence Taylors and the Harry Carsons and the Carl Bankses and the Leonard Marshalls and the Jim Burts. Like I grew up with that style. And then even when you look back on their 2nd run, you had the Osi Umenyoras and the Matthias Kiwanukas and obviously the Michael Strahans and the Justin Tucks. You had dominant Giants defenses. Yeah. This defense was very good last year. Micah Parsons could make this into a dominant Giants defense.
He's like Devin White. He's like Devin White. He's that type of player.
And I loved Devin White. I just knew we weren't getting him, but I absolutely loved Devin White.
Yeah.
So, Junie, thank you so much for the 3. I appreciate it. Really, Junie. Much appreciated. Really do. Somebody mentioned Carl Banks. That's the last time the Giants drafted a linebacker in the 1st round. 1984, the first year that I started watching the Giants. And they had good linebackers already.
That's insane.
I know.
That's insane.
37 years. That was the last time they took one in the 1st round.
Now, granted, we've run a 4-3 scheme the majority of that time, so there was no, edge rusher linebackers that we could have taken in the 1st round. But that's insane. That's crazy to me that we haven't taken a. Now, it's just funny. Like I feel like the linebacker position over the course. I think it used to be an overrated position. I think in today's modern day NFL, it's now become one of the maybe the most underrated position in the sport. The linebacker position is so important to a modern day defense to have an all-purpose linebacker that can do so many different things. And you look at the best teams, you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. What do? They draft 1st-round linebackers all the time. They took Bush. They took what was the name? Shazier. They took there was another linebacker that they took in the 1st round as well.
TJ Watt.
Well, he's an OLB. I was thinking more in the middle, but yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, TJ Watt. But I think the linebackers quickly become one of the more underrated positions in football because of how important it is in the modern day NFL.
Chris Tyler says Michael Parsons is Luke Kuechly. If he is anywhere close to as good as Luke Kuechly and the Giants get him, I'll be a happy boy. I'll be a happy boy on Sundays.
Luke Kuechly's, that's, I don't know. I'm not going to put those kind of.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not going to put those. I'm not going to put those kind of expectations on him. But
that would be
if he's even a top 5-6 linebacker, you'd be happy.
Rakeem, thanks so much, brother. Really. I feel like the Cowboys should take Parsons, but I want him. That would make sense for Dallas. That would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have linebackers. I mean, they have Van Der Esch. He did have some injury problems this year, and they have Jalen Smith. So they do have good linebackers. Their secondary is a big issue. If on the Cow, I mean, you get a Parsons, they need defense. But I feel like the best part of their defense is their linebacking core. They really need secondary help more than anything. If Parsons and Surtain were there, I could see them leaning Surtain, to be honest with you.
I think they're going corner or line. I think they're going corner or line. If I had to guess, I could see if Slater drops, I could see them taking Slater.
That's why you got to tune in for the draft on Thursday. That's next Thursday. That's not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, April 30th. That's why, or April 29th. That's why I got to tune in for that. That's gonna be a fun 3 days. Yeah, that'll be it'll be long, but it'll be fun. I never take days off of work for personal reasons or anything. I just don't do that. I don't call it sick. I take my vacation because I have to take it or I lose it. I'm taking April 30th off. I'm going to enjoy. I'm not going to sit there and wait all day at work. Be like, I can't wait for the clock. Nope. I'm taking that. I'm taking a 3-day weekend. I'm going to work hard on Thursday night. We're going to drink. Oh yeah. I drank 4 pints of Heineken. We might go with that again. There's a little buzz. People like Baddog feeling that at the end of that stream, I was feeling it. It was fun.
Yeah.
We'll do that again. I'm taking the 30th off, and then I'll hang out with my son during the day, and then we'll have him to draft tonight. And then, Chris, I'll spend all day Saturday. It's my wife's favorite time of year. She says, good, Chris, take them off my hands for a weekend. There you go. Cruzon, thank you so much, brother. Really. He says, I'm against paying Barkley huge money regardless how well he plays. I'm in the camp with you. Invest in the offensive line. I would trade Barkley for a second rounder. Cruzon's in the camp with it. Cruzon agrees with me on a hot take because I agree. I am not thinking about paying Barkley a ton of money.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I can't. No. I can't answer that question from my point of view. I have to see this year before But I completely understand that perspective. I definitely understand where people that feel that way are coming from. But I have to see how he plays this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could pick up his fifth year. They should pick up his fifth year option no matter what. It's less than he's making now.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make any. I know they said they're hesitant to do that. If he got hurt again, I understand it, but you got to pick up his fifth year option if he's.
They're going to pick up his fifth year option. They'll pick it up before May 3rd. That's definitely going to happen. It makes no sense not to. They're going to pick up his fifth.
But yeah, I'm not paying him huge money. I have a hard time with that.
Got to see how the team plays this year.
That's why you draft the running back. Get Trey Sermon.
Got to see how the team plays this year. But I understand it. I understand where people are coming from. I love Barkley, but I understand where people are coming from with that.
I see the Frankie Graham Jr. That says Cowboys mostly taking J.C. Horn. They do like J.C. Horn a lot.
Yeah. I
could see the Eagles taking J.C. Horn if they stay at 12.
I could too.
That actually is I couldn't. That'd be smart. They ain't doing
and
that.
And if the Falcons trade down, I can see the Cowboys taking J.C. Horn if the Falcons take Surtain at 9 if they trade with the Broncos.
Yeah. WB619 says Baddog is sounding like my dad. I don't know if that's good or bad. I am a dad, though, so I guess that makes sense. I got dad jokes, and I got all that stuff. Junie, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Really. PFF's latest mock said they would laugh if we drafted Parsons. Now I want him. They laughed at Blake and Bradbury being signed to. PFF's a bunch of.
I'm going to tell you why, Junie, they would laugh. It's because he's not known to be good in coverage. That's the one thing that people say they don't like about him. But my answer to that is he wasn't used in coverage. I think he only had 70 snaps where he was used in coverage. Well, at Penn State, if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember reading that in an article. So they didn't use him in that capacity. I think his athleticism definitely demonstrates that he could be used in that way. But I think that's the reasoning why people aren't super high on him, because he wasn't great in coverage.
Listen, not everybody's perfect. Every football player's got a weakness coming out of college. Every one of them. And you know what? That's the NFL's job to expose those weaknesses. And they're going to get exposed in the NFL because that's why it's the best of the best. It's why it's difficult to make that jump from college to the pros. But that's why you work on it. And that's why your coaches are there. Your coaches are going to put you in the best situation to succeed. The Giants don't feel that Parsons is going to coverage. They're going to bring him in. They're going to use him in pass rush situations. They're going to use him on run blitzes. They're going to do different things like Parsons. And I have no doubt Patrick Graham will figure it out and turn him into a superstar. He's got that kind of athleticism and talent. PFF laughs at everything. Junie, you know that the media hates it. It don't matter who they take. It's going to be a bad pick.
Yeah.
No matter who they – Surtain, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Kyle Pitts can fold him at 11. Rashawn Slater. Oh, that's a bad pick for the Giants. Oh, that was stupid. You know it. It don't matter who we take. We can Lawrence Taylor. We can take Lawrence Taylor. Back in 1981, if PFF was around, they would have. Oh, that's a stupid pick. Giants took Lawrence Taylor. He sucks. That's what PFF would have said about LT too.
Yep.
Yankees fan, thanks so much, brother. Brilly. Yeah, us Yankee fans are taking it on the chin, ain't we? Feel like I have a good chin. I can take a punch. What's wrong? And I have taken a punch doing those Yankee games, that's for sure. He says, what's wrong with the Yankees? Is it Aaron Boone's fault? What's going on? Oh, it's everybody's fault. It starts at Cashman. He put this disgraceful bunch of players together. It's him. Outside of DJ LeMahieu and Garrett Cole, what do you got? You got nothing. So
here's what I'll say about that Yankee fan, and I'm a Met fan, obviously, but I'm a baseball fan. I very rarely, and obviously there's things managers do. There's things Rojas does that I can't stand. I don't think managers are near that important in baseball as they are in football, basketball. I don't think they have that much of a say, especially in today's modern day baseball, where a lot of times the managers don't even set the lineups. So Boone's not good, probably. I don't watch the Yankees, but I don't think he's like the main reason why the team's struggling.
He sucks.
I know he's not. Ross sucks too.
The team takes on a life. The team's life is that their personality of the manager. He's soft. The team is soft. Listen, the Giants are soft and lazy with Pat Shurmur there. He was a soft and lazy guy. Joe Judge ain't soft and lazy. They fight. Tom Thibodeau is a fighter. The Knicks are fighters. He's
if I'm not mistaken, Boone's an analytical guy, right?
Boone has never managed at any level before this.
What was it? He was a TV guy.
He's an analytical.
I hate that. And Rojas is like that too. I wanted Joe Girardi. That's who I wanted for the New York Mets. And I think he's analytical too. Yeah, but I don't like these guys that go strictly off the computers. I don't like it.
I don't win baseball games. I say it all the time. They're a nice tool. They don't. That's not how you set your lineup, man. Stop with the garbage.
Yeah.
Stop with everybody. That's why we picked up Rougned Odor. And even on they're just showing the Yankees hitting home runs and talking about Rougned Odor is only like the 8th second baseman ever to have 30+ home runs in 3 years. And I'm like, you know what? You can give me Joe Morgan any day over any of those second base. They showed Dan Uggla. They showed Rougned Odor. They showed somebody else, Rodgers Hornsby. I said, maybe Rodgers Hornsby is the only guy I take over Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan was not a power hitter, but you can give me Joe Morgan over almost any, and Ryan Sandberg, you can give them to me over any guy that I saw play in my lifetime at second base. Yeah. And they were not. Ryan Sandberg actually was a power hitter.
Roberto Alomar was pretty damn good too.
Roberto Alomar. There's another one. So yes.
Yeah.
Give me. Oh, Soriano was on that list.
Yeah.
Soriano really wasn't even a second baseman. He was kind of out of position there, but I digress. It's a football show, but the Yankees show Saturday morning. Shameless plug for me. Yankees Weekly with Baddog, 10 a.m. Saturday mornings. Tune in for that. We had our debut show yesterday.
I listened to some of it. It was good.
We'll be doing it. Thank you. I appreciate that. My wife actually said that. My wife came downstairs due to laundry. She said, you were pretty good. I said, geez, thanks.
Yeah.
And you sounded
I listened to about a half hour of it today when I was walking my dog. It was pretty good.
Appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Niall, thank you so much, brother. Billy says, I can see the Cowgirls taking Slater if he's there. It makes sense.
Yeah, I said that earlier. Yeah, I definitely can see that. And I don't see a lot of people mocking that to the Cowboys, but they notoriously have drafted offensive linemen in the top 10. Their offensive line, they don't have spring chicken over there. I could see it if they like Slater.
Subo, you're right. Willie Randolph, too. I mean, there's a bunch of second basemen I'd take over Rougned Odor. Jeremiah, my man, thank you so much for becoming a member, brother. Appreciate it. Really. Jeremiah, sir, welcome to the Dog Pound. Yo, Dog Pound members, where you at? Welcome our boy Jeremiah into the dog pound. Let's go, baby. Tyler, thank you so much. Really, really. He says, I heard Gary Sanchez is your best friend, Baddog. Tyler, if you were watching the stream today, there's a guy that I dislike more than Gary Sanchez on the New York Yankees now.
Aaron Judge?
Aaron Hicks.
Oh, Aaron Hicks. Yeah.
Because at least Gary Sanchez for 2 years was fantastic. It's no surprise or coincidence that Gary Sanchez's demise happened when Aaron Boone became the manager. And he fell off a cliff. So did Aaron Judge. They fell off a cliff when Joe Girardi left here. So Aaron Hicks has never been good. He's a career 230 hitter. He's been injured almost every year of his career. He can't field. He hits third every game. Don't know why. He's terrible in the postseason. And the only reason he got paid, Chris, is because in one of the years, I forget if it was 2017 or 2018. I don't remember the exact year. I think it was 2018 because my kid was a year old and I was down at Disney World. And I remember Sunday Night Baseball, he destroyed David Price. He killed the Red Sox. He had like 9 home runs against the Red Sox that year. So the Yankees gave him money because he beat up David Price. That was the only reason he got paid. 7 years. He's never played a full season in the major leagues, ever. The guy don't even have 1,000 hits in his career, and he has like 100 double. It's pathetic how bad he is. And they gave him 7 years, $70 million, and he hits third every game. And he all he did today was 4 pop-ups because he swings for the fences every time. I hate him. I actually said in one inning, the Yankees had first and second with 2 outs. And it was 3-2 to Judge. And I said, Judge either needs to drive these runs in or strike out. I said, I was dead serious. I could not take Aaron Hicks up with the bases loaded 2 outs. I would have had a heart attack. I said, strike, and he did. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I really could not take Aaron Hicks to play with the bases loaded. I hate him that much. Aaron Hicks deserves his own video. That's how much I hate Aaron Hicks. I hate him. Abe, thank you so much, brother. Sausage King of Chicago. Really, really. I agree, dog. Parsons can make us top 5. I'd rather rely on the D to control the games like they did in the 80s, and the O didn't need to put up many points. Yeah, I would love that, man. I think that would be awesome.
The one thing I'll say, the Giants have not drafted the defensive player. They've drafted 1 defensive player with their first round draft pick. Obviously, they drafted 2 in 19, but Jones was the first. I think they've drafted 1 since like 2013, and that was Eli Apple. So they're due to take a defensive player early in the draft, and maybe it'll be this year. They definitely focused a lot on the offensive end in free agency. They added some defensive pieces too, though.
Dank Burrito, an Eagles fan, says, who are you bums taking in the draft? I don't know. But what I do know is he'll be better than whoever the hell you draft.
You know my answer to that if he's an Eagles fan? I just hope whoever the Giants take is not who you want. Because whoever you take is going to suck. So whoever the Eagles want, Dank Burrito, I just hope the Giants stay far away from that. I hope like Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman get like an eye on who you guys plan on drafting with your 12th pick. And I just hope the Giants stay far away from that pick. I don't want to take whoever you're taking because you guys can't draft to save your lives.
No, you guys stink.
Yeah.
Deila says, Bieber next week, over under strike. Oh, probably. I would say over under is 10. Listen, Andrew Kittredge opened up today for the Rays. He had 4 strikeouts the entire season. I said, I bet you he gets 4 strikeouts in this game. He pitched an inning and 2/3. He had 3 strikeouts. So I was close. Got 3/4 of what he had this year in 5 outs, Chris. The guy struck out 4 batters all year. He got 5 outs against the Yankees because he's an opener. He struck out 3 of them. They suck. They're 5-10. I'll tell you what, the podcast on Saturday mornings is going to be therapy for me this year.
Hey, maybe they'll go on a winning streak over the next 6 games, and it'll be a happy podcast next week.
Hey, that'd be nice. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. Junior, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. Really, really, my man. Thank you for the 5, sir. Much appreciated. Our boy Authentic's in the chat. What's going on, Authentic? There he is.
What's going on? Authentic's the man. What's going on, Authentic?
He is the man. He says, I low-key want Devontae Smith now. Big stage didn't scare him, and the Giants can bulk him up, turn him into a major weapon. I'm fine with Devontae
okay
Smith.
with it. I'll be cool with it. I'll be cool.
No problem. No problem. Richie the Wolf. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. Really, really, my man. He says, if the Giants were ever to move from the NFC East to the AFC East, do you think you would be able to contend with the Buffalo Bills?
Not this year.
Yeah, not this year.
Buffalo Bills to be one of the top three or four teams in football this year. So
if we're being honest, the Bills should be able to make the Super Bowl this year. I think I'm that high in Buffalo. With Kansas City losing their tackles the way they did, and Mahomes' contract starting to kick in there, I could see Buffalo beating them this year. Buffalo came close to beating them last year.
I'm gonna give you two teams.
And if Mahomes had to sit out, that was a wrap.
Yeah.
But Buffalo gave them a scare anyway, and they weren't experienced. Kansas City had been there. Buffalo's got a year of experience, and they're going to have a draft.
I'm going to tell you the other team in the AFC, Cleveland Browns. I think the Cleveland Browns and I think the Buffalo Bills have the best chance to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs this year.
I'll be honest. Browns, Bills, that'd be like the late 80s right there. That'd be cool in the AFC. Baker Mayfield against Josh Allen, two young guys.
And the Colts, by the way. I think we both like the Colts.
Yeah, yes. Actually, what am I talking about? That was was the team I picked to go to the. I forget about the Colts because they're in Indianapolis, and that's no knock on Indianapolis, but we're talking about New York and Buffalo, and obviously Kansas City has been in the forefront. But yeah, I think that was my pick out of the AFC when somebody asked the other week. Was those
three I like to have a shot to knock off the Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree. I'll be honest. I'll be surprised if the Chiefs get back to the Super Bowl this year. I will. I think they're going to, not because they're bad, but when you look, you saw what happened when you don't have a line. Chiefs lost their tackles. It's big losses. Mahomes is great, but I mean, it doesn't matter how great you are if you're not protected, man. It's tough to win. John, thank you so much, brother. Really says I like Sermon to the Giants too. Baddog, based on your comment about Sermon, would you consider Fields a Bulldog? If not, why? You talking about Justin Fields? I'm not.
I like Sermon to the Giants. Based on your comment about Sermon, would you consider Fields a Bulldog? Did he play for Georgia before?
Oh, he did actually. Fields, yeah, they let him walk in favor. That's one thing Uncle Lou's always pissed off about. That they kept Stetson Bennett, they kept everybody else. I wouldn't consider him a Bulldog. That's a good call, Chris, because that's what he's talking about. I consider Sermon a Sooner because he played there for 3 years, and then he transferred his senior year, and that's because Oklahoma had Ramondre Stevenson, which is another guy if he's late in the draft. I'd have no problem with that guy either. But Fields did not play much for Georgia. And obviously his coming out was with Ohio State. So I would consider him a Buckeye.
Yeah, it's kind of with Burrow too. I don't consider Burrow a Buckeye. I consider him a Tiger.
Right. That's why.
Yeah.
Sermon had great years at Oklahoma. He did get hurt one year, but he had great years at Oklahoma. So it's not like they didn't use him in Oklahoma, and then he came to Ohio State and he blew up. His numbers, his freshman year at Oklahoma, I think it was his freshman year at Oklahoma, are similar to that of what he did at Ohio State last year. So I would consider Fields a Buckeye. I'd still consider Sermon a Sooner. Junior, thank you so much, brother. Really? Do you think the Giants will win 9 or 10 games this season coming up?
Are you asking, are those my only two options? But that's actually where I have them, Junior, 9 or 10 games. That's what I think. Before the draft, that's what I think. I think I got them either 9-8 or 10-7. That's what I think going into the year next year.
I like 10-7 myself.
I'm hoping for 11-6.
12-5. A lot of guys have them 12-5. Well, a lot of our fans. PFF probably has them 7-10,
6-11,
4-11. Why not? 6-11. Yeah, that's why not? PFF, they're fantastic. Whatever. Hey, thanks so much, brother. We'll be live for like another 10 minutes. We'll call it night. Again, I got to get up at I don't want to get up tomorrow. I got to get up at 5:30 tomorrow. It's been nice sleeping in for the last 16 days. Not that I really sleep in a lot, but 8:30, that's way better than 5:30. Hey, thanks so much, brother. Really. And being able to sit around in my shorts and drink coffee and hang out with my son. That's good.
Can't beat that.
No. Breakout candidate, Dexter Lawrence. I would love it.
I love Dexter Lawrence. I'm curious to see the role they put Dexter Lawrence in this year. If they're going to play him in the middle or still play him on the edge. I'm curious to see that. But I think Dexter Lawrence could be great. I love Dexter Lawrence. So
what is Abe Froman's picture Ben McAdoo?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I was just double checking. I was just you got a good laugh out of that. Double A, he says, what do you think about Parsons? Love him. I love him. Like I said, if it's not Kyle Pitts, give me Micah Parsons. I'm not going to be upset with pretty much anybody the Giants take, but I definitely can get on board with that for sure. ALB 7886 says, love the stream, guys. Keep it up. We have to come away. We have to come away with either best O-line or day one defensive starter at 11.
That's my thought. My thought has been for a while, if it was up to me, Slater or Parsons. That's what I want.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm completely fine with that. Zach Wilson comes in and says, so he's going to the Jets, but he says that the Dolphins are taking Parsons at 6. Mark my words.
I'd be surprised.
That'd be interesting.
I think they're going to do everything they can to help too. I'd be surprised.
Aaron Usavi says, thoughts on Julius Randle saying you're the best YouTube on the platform. But the one that comes into my stream.
I was going to say.
Yeah, the one that comes into my stream. Yeah, he's awesome. I get a lot of basketball players in my stream. I get LeBron James comes in there. I've had Kobe in there. Yeah, Julius Randle. Emmanuel quickly comes in. Yeah, I got a lot of Knicks that come into my Lakers streams.
You get more Knicks that come into yours than mine.
Yeah, I got a lot of Knicks. And then I get tons of Nets fans. There's a lot of Nets fans that fill up my stream. But yeah, no, I love Julius Randle. He played really well for the Knicks. He's a beast. Yeah,
he should be getting MVP talk.
Yeah, yes. Jeremiah says Kristaps Porzingis is in both of our streams. KP's
always in our streams. Yes.
People still asking about EDP. I think 10 minutes into the stream, we gave our thoughts on EDP. It was 10 to 15 minutes into the stream. Somebody asked, and I just figured we'd get out of the way because I've been asked about that a lot because obviously I knew or interacted with him on YouTube. When is the next membership? Good question, Nick. I gotta figure that out. Matt says the Nets have. Well, I mean, I guess
they do now.
They find a way to bother me. You know what's funny? This is a funny thing about YouTube. This is what's great. Number one, I said in an Instagram rant, I guess, that I'm always amazed at the impact that I have on people's lives, that they care so much about what I do on YouTube. Right? So it amazes me about how many people question me doing the Lakers. And this did not happen the last 2 years because the Knicks were complete trash. So nobody asked.
Right.
Now the Knicks are exciting again and they're fun to watch. And now people ask all the time. Nets fans troll those streams all the time. Lakers suck. Lakers are trash. Nets in 4, blah, blah, blah. I don't like the Nets anyway because I'm a Knicks fan, okay? And I don't like them anyway. But the Lakers beat the piss out of them last Saturday. Nary a Nets fan in the chat. Nowhere to be found. Then after the game, then the Nets fans troll my video with, oh, you're such a fraud. You're a Knicks. Thought you were a Knicks fan, but you're talking smack about the Nets. Yeah, I don't like the Nets anyway. Because they go, well, we run New York. Yeah, my ass. Go to the Barclays Center and hear MVP chants for Julius Randle when he's at the free throw line.
They're the best team in New York. I'll give them credit for that. They're the best team in New York. I'll give them credit for that. But the majority of people in New York are Knicks fans. They always will be.
I want the Knicks to play the Nets in the postseason so bad.
It'd be a fun series.
So bad. I want that. I'm serious. I'm telling you.
That would be fun.
The Knicks will scare the Jesus.
I'm hoping second round. Second round.
I don't care when they play them.
Give me the Hawks round 1. And then I'll take the Nets round 2.
They kick the hell out of the Hawks.
Yeah.
But I want Knicks Nets.
Yeah.
I want that to happen. Then we'll see who's the best team in here. I'm telling you right now, man. Nets got a lot. The Knicks have no pressure. Nobody picked the Knicks to do a damn thing. The Nets have a ton of pressure. They have to win it all or it's a failure. The Knicks have already succeeded. It doesn't matter what they do for me. Everything else is gravy. Yeah. It'd be nice for the Knicks to win a playoff series. That'd be nice. It hasn't happened in a long time. It'd be nice. They've won one playoff series in 22 years, man.
Let's do it again. Let's get that 5 seed. Let's win a playoff series.
Let's do it. Inferno, thanks so much, brother. Brilly says, been a while, Baddog. You the man. How can I be the man when you the man? As always, though, I do apologize. As always, I tell you, nobody ever needs to apologize for not being on a stream. Ever. Life happens. I'll be here. Things that happen in your life are way more important than me. He says internet was down for a few days. Also, hello, Tainah. Good win for the Knicks.
What's going on, my man? Thanks for popping in, buddy. Hope all is well.
You never need to apologize. We live for like another 5 minutes. We'll call it a night. Avery, thanks so much, brother. Really. I don't want a wide receiver in the first. Y'all are the best. Hey, man, I understand that too.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm with you. I'm not gonna be upset if they take one, but if it was up to me, I wouldn't take a wide receiver. So I'm with you, Avery.
I see we're like 25 likes away from 400, man. Can we get 400 likes for this stream before we end it in a couple minutes? And if you haven't done so, again, do me a favor, man. Smack the like. I just asked for that. I'm getting tired myself. Make sure you subscribe. More importantly, if you haven't subscribed to Deandre Baker, make sure you go into the description. The link to his channel is there. It will be on his channel next week for Talking Giants on Friday night. And we will be doing a mock draft with you guys on Friday night, and that will get us ready for the draft the following week. We do the show every week. It may not always be the same day because he streams the Knicks, I stream the Lakers. But we do this show every week, and we alternate channels. And again, we do all the Giants games together, alternate channels. And of course, we'll have 3 days of draft coverage for you. First night on my channel, next 2 days and night, or next night and day on his channel. So, like I said, if you guys are just tuning in tonight, thank you for being here. If you've never found these channels and like the show, make sure you subscribe to both channels because, like I said, we do it all the time. And we always appreciate your support. We can never say that enough. The fact that I know the draft is close, but the fact that we had almost 700 people in here most of the night with not a lot to talk about is a testament to how great this fan base is. And can never say how much we appreciate you guys. So thank you for
It's going to be a fun season. It's going to be a fun season.
Yeah, I say it every week. I said it every week. We just wait till we're good. I think we're there.
I think we're there too. I think we're going to be good this year.
On paper, we're there.
Yeah.
Wilkie, thanks so much, brother. Really. Why are people down on Rondale Moore?
I think it's injuries. If I had to guess, he's had injury history. He was really good his freshman year at Purdue, and then he sustained injuries his second and third year. That would be my guess why. In terms of a talent, I love that guy as a prospect. He's small, but actually I did a film breakdown with Fireside Johnson him as well, and he was a guy that impressed me. He's a guy that's kind of like a running back after he catches the ball with his ability to make people miss in the open field. So I like Rondale Moore a lot, actually, and I would not be upset if we drafted him in the second round. He does have an injury history, though.
It's always tough when a player comes out of college with an injury history. It's just, I don't know, man. Unless it's just tough. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Saquon Barkley had no injury history at Penn State, and he hasn't been able to stay healthy the last 2 years for the Giants. So you really don't know. It's some of it's bad luck. Some of it is bad teams.
Yeah.
You know, I say it all the time, and I'll be completely honest. I think players get hurt more nowadays because of the way they practice, their lack of practice, their lack of contact, lack of two-a-days. They're not in football shape by the time they play football. I have believed that for years, that ever since they got rid of the two-a-days and they've lightened up on all these practices and lightened up on the contact, that when these guys are actually playing at full speed and getting hit for the first time, their body has a hard time adjusting to it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's why there's a lot more injuries. These guys are the best trainers in the world. They have the best technology in the world. They are bigger, stronger, faster than they've ever been. And they have all the advantages to be healthy. And they still end up injured more often than not. You didn't see a lot of torn ACLs in the 80s. It was rare. It's common now. It's like
same thing with baseball. Same thing with baseball.
That was one of the things you probably heard that then when I was talking about. I don't know if you got that far in the podcast, but
yeah, I did. I heard it.
Yeah. Chris, thank you so much, brother. Really, my man. He's a Cowboys fan, by the way. He says, I'm a best player. I want best player available. If Pitts is there, add the offense, Dak. I hope you do take Kyle Pitts, Chris, because you don't need him.
I'd like for you to take Kyle Pitts. Please take Kyle Pitts.
You guys don't need him whatsoever. There's one football. So you can have Kyle Pitts.
I mean, I can see the thinking. They're probably not going to have Gallup back the next year. But at the end of the day, last year you didn't need CeeDee Lamb and you took him. At this point, it's overkill. You got your weapons. Your offensive line, maybe you need rebuffing there, and your defense is not good. Yeah. If I'm a Dallas fan, I want to go defense.
Yeah. Real quick, Arian says, better. Why do people think the Knicks can't take the Nets to 6 or 7? You never know when you have the best defense in the whole league.
They can.
I think they will. I
don't
think
know.
they will.
I don't think I'll go as far. I mean, I hope 7, but I think they could take them to 6.
It would go 7. I'm telling you, 92 Knicks and Bulls. You may have been a little young for that series.
I remember it. I was 8, but I remember it.
91, 92.
Oh, I was 6, 7. Yeah.
Yeah. The 91, 92. The Bulls swept the Knicks in the regular season in the 91, 92 season. And actually, the Knicks ended up tied with the Celtics and actually got dropped down to the 4 seed, I believe. They wouldn't have played the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals had they won the conference that year. But I believe the Knicks were 51-31. It was Pat Riley's first year at the club. Everybody picked the Chicago Bulls to sweep the Knicks. The Knicks ain't going to give the Bulls a problem. The Knicks, they're nothing. They're garbage. They'll be swept under the rug, just a speed bump. Bulls are going to repeat. Not a problem. This is easy series. Bulls will have no problem. Knicks win in Chicago. It's like the only time I ever remember them winning in the Madhouse in Madison. Ewing had 34-16. The Knicks came out, punched them in the mouth. Chicago didn't know what the hell happened. The Knicks kicked their ass that first game. The score didn't indicate it, but the Knicks dominated that game. Game 2, the Knicks were this close to taking it. Then they lost a very close Game 3 in Madison Square Garden. They ended up winning Game 4 in Madison Square Garden. To this day, I don't know if I've ever heard a louder crowd than Game 4. Not that I was there, but on TV, than Game 4. Jared Wilkins' 3-point play on the fast break, getting the and one. The crowd just, I mean, you could hear it. It gives me chills thinking about it. Okay? They lost a very close Game 5 in Chicago. They beat them by 16 in Game 6. They were right there for the first half, and then they got blown out in the second half of Game 7.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate the Knicks never got over the hump. In 93, the Knicks should have beat Chicago, but that's why Charles Smith gives me nightmares. But that 90, the Knicks had their comeuppance in that series, and nobody picked them to do anything. That's why I think if they play the Nets in the second round, and it is 4 versus 1 or 5 versus 1, you're going to get the same type of series. Because the Knicks do play defense, and the Knicks do not get blown out of games because their defense keeps them in there because they are tough and they're physical and they wear the opposition down. I want the Knicks to play the Nets.
I don't think they'll. I'm not picking them to beat the Nets, but I don't think they'll get. I don't think they'll get embarrassed. Let's put it that way. And the one thing I'll say is, the Knicks are going to have home field advantage in every game in that series.
Yeah. Yes, they will. You're absolutely right because the Barclays Center belongs to the Knicks.
The Knicks will have home court in every game of that series. Yeah, I'll tell you that right now.
James Earl Moan says, by the time the Knicks young players understand playoff level intensity, they'll be down 3-0. I'm going to say this to you right now, James. Maybe you don't watch the Knicks. Every game they're playing right now is playoff intensity because they're trying to stay seated. Every game has been played. They're battling teams like the Pelicans who are trying to get into the playoffs, like the Mavericks who are trying to stay in there. Every game's been playoff intensity for the Knicks. They're playing playoff games now. The Nets are coasting. That's dangerous. You can't just turn it on in the playoffs. The Knicks are playing playoff basketball right now.
We'll see. I just want to get there. I want to win a series, and then I'll have my fun series against the Nets. Sign me up for that.
Yeah, I'm in for that too. Anyway, guys, it is 12:20. We're going to get out of here. Just want to say again, Chris, thanks for coming out. It's always awesome. This is just, I love doing these shows. It's my favorite thing we do on YouTube. I love doing this. I love talking Giants football. Can never thank you guys and girls enough, man. I'd say it over and over and over again, and it still can't be said enough how much we appreciate all your support in this show. Again, almost 700 people in here most of the night with nothing to really talk about, just speculation and the draft, which we're all very excited to see. And obviously the big free agency, there's a lot expected of the Giants. It's been years since the Giants have been expected to do anything. And I expect a lot. I'm sure Chris expects a lot, and I'm sure you expect a lot in the chat. And hopefully they live up to our expectations this year. So we appreciate it. Taco, thank you really real quick. He says, please answer my comment. I didn't see your comment.
I'll find it. Let me see. All right, here we go. Entertainer Baddog, please answer. I'm saying the same way that Thomas to the Giants was slept on last year. Everyone thought worse. Parsons is being slept on the Giants this year. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant earlier. That you think that you don't, that nobody's mocking him there. You think there's smoke. That we'll see, Taco. I mean, first off, he's got to be there. We don't know if he's going to be there. You know, Denver could take, you don't know. So let's see if he's even there first. But yeah, maybe they are playing cat and mouse, and maybe that is ultimately who the New York Giants will end up taking.
It could be, but the one thing I'll say, Taco, is, you know, like I said, the last video I did about the Giants, the most mock drafts that came out at that time did mock Parsons to the Giants. It was the first time that a wide receiver wasn't mocked to them more than any other position. It was Micah Parsons. So we'll see. It's all speculation. That's why, right, like Chris said, it's you know, foreplay is fun, man. Foreplay is good, but it gets to a point where it's like, okay, enough's enough. Let's get to it.
Yeah. But right now, you know, and again, like Baddog said, we say it every week. And then I'll talk a little bit more. But thank you to everybody for being here. Thank you guys for all the support you guys always show. I'm really looking forward to next week. Next week's show should be a lot of fun because it'll be 6 days away. We'll do a couple of mock draft simulation with you guys. We'll get the chat very much involved, unlike the last one I did. It'll be Baddog, myself talking to the chat. We'll talk about some of the situations we could be going through. That should be a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, as far as the draft goes, Taco, everybody in the chat, I mean, it's throwing darts at the board, and I'm sick of it. It's everybody's, you know, everybody's got a different guy going to the Giants. We'll find out on draft night. Ultimately, who we end up taking. I don't think I'm gonna have a crazy reaction one way or the other. I'm gonna be content, probably no matter who the New York Giants decide to take this year. I trust the coaching staff, unlike almost any year prior, even last year when we didn't really have much of a resume with Joe Judge. So going into this year, I'm much more confident with the staff. I'm much more confident no matter who we draft. Even if I don't like the pick, they're going to get the most out of the guy that they select. So I'm really looking forward to it. As long as they fill a need and then they continue to fill some needs throughout the draft, that's all you ask for. The free agency period was phenomenal. And I think it definitely ups the expectations for this team going forward. And I can't wait, man. I'm sick of the chatter. I want to see what we get in 10 or 11 days and take it from there. But I'm super excited about the draft, and I'm super excited for the upcoming year on the channel and on the football field. So
yeah.
Thank you for having me on, Baddog. Always love doing this. Thank you to everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you guys soon.
Absolutely. So for the Entertainment Talking Sports, the Bad Diggity Dizzle, and we will see you next time. We are gone.